MVP Sports Talk Radio live out of Massachusetts.
Wasted on you.
That's Ryan's song right there. It's WARA Radio 1320 AM. We are live.
It's my anthem for the past 2 weeks. It's exactly what it is.
It's been the anthem for a long time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
Like the past 10
going
months.
on. I love his music. And welcome back. I know we didn't have a show last Wednesday, but we're back in studio, live and in action, live on Facebook. If you haven't hit that stream
and YouTube,
yet, pop over there and hit that.
Don't forget
also
YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
Also,
make
if
sure
you haven't
to subscribe
yet,
and follow.
For people
WARA.
like my mother,
and also,
mom,
if you haven't,
mom, who doesn't have Facebook,
head on over to MVP Sports Talk Radio. Give the
us
page
a like.
Yeah, shoot that like.
Yeah, give us a
Share
like.
it.
Give us a little like.
Send it.
Give us a little love.
Give WARA.
Give us a little love.
A little bit of loving.
Make sure you like WARA Radio.
We don't want like a whole lot of love.
No, we want all the love.
We want a little bit of love.
We want all the love.
All the love.
Other news.
All the love. All the love.
Key focus to liking the page is to get some updates on
All
the
love.
podcast. That will
Oh,
be
it's
launching.
coming.
Mm-hmm.
Pilot
Soon?
episode coming
Yes.
soon. We got to get going.
I need to discuss with you gentlemen about
within the
potential
next 2 weeks.
Possibility of this pilot episode.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
I've got a couple of ideas
I've got some good stuff.
that we can spitball.
Let's
You know
do
what
it.
I'm saying?
Let's do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we got
Spitball.
a fair amount to talk about. We got happenings around the NFL. Again, make sure to keep out for the podcast if you like more of a profane and entertaining.
If you're into
topic.
explicit, you know what?
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have stories,
Poop.
and we've all lived entertaining lives. Over
Extremely
the years.
entertaining.
I got stories for days.
We've been through some ish.
Yeah, stories for days. So there'll be a lot of funny and entertaining stories on there. Again, it's going to be a podcast, so you have to tune in once we put that out. You can't just listen live, but it will be.
Could it
rated
be
M.
a live podcast?
I don't think
So like people can tune in live, but then
'cause we'd have
listen to it
you'd
after the
have to
fact.
edit it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, it wouldn't be live.
That's right.
And then if it's live, you have to worry about
That's true.
was it FCA,
Yeah,
okay.
FCC,
copyrighted.
whatever it is? Yeah.
Okay.
And you
Unless-
can't,
well,
you can't
you-
swear.
as long as it doesn't go over federal airwaves. So if you were to do, I don't think they can.
Like,
though,
we
but
could live it probably on, like, our phone.
Say like Spotify live.
Yeah.
So something like this, or if like Spotify did like a live feature, you could do it there or Facebook, but nothing over airwaves.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Nothing that the feds control.
which is
Right.
fine. Which is fine because
Yeah, which is fine.
we know how we feel about the feds.
Yeah. So,
The feds.
amen.
The feds.
Dabble to maybe a future episode. The feds.
The feds.
feds.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
we'll be talking.
Pilot episode. The
The
feds.
feds.
We'll be talking about everything. Everything.
Oh, shit.
So, you know, there'll be a couple.
It's
There'll be
like
a couple like.
if anyone.
Hit the dump button.
What'd you do?
What
There you go. You're good. You're good.
did I say?
No, it was me. 100% me.
Oh.
So we dumped. We won't have to dump on the
Yikes.
show.
We had to dump because of, well, sometimes when you go to the bathroom,
Yeah. Right.
so that's why.
Ah.
I don't know. Can you say that? You definitely can't say that.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you might be able
You
to.
probably can.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
So we dumped as a precaution. So if you're now just hearing dead air, we have dumped, and that will not occur on the podcast. When there's a dump and a dead air, that means somebody probably.
If
My
it-
mic went limp. I mean, somebody probably swore in studio.
I don't know if anyone's heard of him, but this podcast is essentially going to be like Joe Rogan style.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
just
well,
all.
It's gonna be a little more spicier though.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'll be doing LSD or anything on it.
I mean, it is called
I mean-
Let the Boys Talk. So it will be raunchy. It will be unfiltered, uncensored. Just if you're easily offended by things,
Don't want
this is not recommended for you.
Well, I guess no one's gonna be listening then.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, if anyone knows me, I like controversy. So, like, you know, if I talk,
Mm-hmm.
even talking politics, I mean, if someone wants to come in and thrash the other opposing side at me, you know, Jeremy Connor, I don't know, but somebody, we can do that instead.
That would be okay
Ooh.
because I know you two and Jeremy get into it.
Oh, yeah.
I just love scrolling
Oh,
through
yeah.
it and reading the conversations.
Look.
I do it all the time. So if we do that, it could be it would be 2-on-1. So Jeremy would have to bring a friend or something.
Yeah.
I could moderate
He's got plenty of friends.
because
that
I'm
get
pretty
in on it.
He's got
I'm pretty
friends.
centrist.
He's
So
got
I could
friends.
I could moderate.
Plus, me and Nick are known
If you-
as two
'cause you
two
guys-
jerk offs.
Because you
So I'm
two,
sure he wouldn't be having any trouble trying to find someone to go up against the two of us.
right?
Probably
So
half of Attleboro, you know.
yeah, so you get the jerk offs, but I mean at the same time,
Buddy.
all four of y'all are adults. You can have a
That's
discussion.
another episode name. Big jerk offs.
The jerk offs.
We're doing this great.
I gotta figure out if
Keep
you're
going.
allowed.
Is the jerk offs like too bad?
No.
Is that like too
No.
raunchy?
No, because we're a bunch of jerk offs.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if
We are.
you can prank call on a podcast. Or is that illegal?
No.
Is that illegal now?
Actually illegal.
Prank call on a podcast?
But yeah, like we're gonna
Yeah,
prank
because
call
the
somebody.
Jerky Boys. Do you know who the Jerky
Can
Boys
you?
are?
Yeah.
So the Jerky Boys just do it live on air.
Yeah. Hello.
I don't
Well,
know.
no, they
This is Sal. Build me a box, damn you.
crap. There's a whatever radio station does the second date thing.
Yeah, was that 98.5? No.
Yeah, they
it's
do.
not
The,
98.5.
she does the one in the morning, the chick, right?
Yeah.
Where they
'Cause my-
call and they fake voices.
We had a radio station back home. People would call in and be like, "Hey, I think my girlfriend's cheating on me," and the radio station would call the girlfriend, and they would pose as like a free, like, "Hey, congratulations, you were just entered from a drawing, and congratulations,
what happens?
you won a free bouquet of roses."
Is that what happens?
We don't need any of your address or information. The only information we need is who you want us to send the roses to. And they would ask the person who they want to send
smart.
the roses to.
That's smart.
And they would have
Slick.
the boyfriend muted on the other line, like listening in.
Yeah.
And they would be like, "So, they're free. We don't need any of your personal information, social security. We don't need any of that. The only information we need is the first and last name of the person you want to send it to and their address." And then so if they say their boyfriend, good, they're in the clear. But if not, if they say somebody different, then they unmute the boyfriend and they're like, "Who the bleep is so and so?" And
slick.
caught you in the
that.
act.
I like that.
Does it vary by state or is it a
I don't
federal
know, because- so
regulation? Because I would love to do something like that.
I think you
Are
can
we doing
do
a
it in-
podcast right
no,
now?
You
What are
can
we doing?
definitely do it in.
I mean, we're getting started.
We just going podcast
Yeah,
right now?
we
Just what's going
we
on
got a
here?
break. We always burn the first
Yeah.
15 minutes with
This is like an edited preview of what
Okay.
is to come,
All right.
like a
Well, I feel
clean version
I feel
of
like-
what is to come.
the first 20 minutes of the show is always just random jabber because we have like that first, like I have it here, but it'll be up in 10 seconds or whatever, and I'll run in a little bit. But we always have that first break in the way, so it just kills the
Well,
mood.
so this first break's coming up. When's the next break after that?
It'll be 24.
Because you could roll it if you wanted.
You know
If
what
you
the
want to
best thing
keep
about
going, just roll
podcast
that
is?
into
Let's see how it
24. Yeah. Huh?
You know what the best thing about podcast is?
You can talk about whatever you
No
want.
breaks.
No breaks. Yep.
Breaks. That's true.
Commercial free.
Just full
I
blown.
mean, we might like pause. You can always pause and come back too. That's
Yeah.
the good part.
Well, yeah.
It's like
Plus-
if you have to go to the bathroom, we don't have to
Yeah.
navigate a break. We can just pause the show. You go, we come back.
Plus, I can get swifty.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Get a little swifty.
you called that.
Mhm.
You called that.
Get
I
a little
told you.
swifty. No, I told you guys for the first episode, I'm gonna get real swifty. I told you that.
I told him. I was like, he's going to be like Swifty the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day. Every day we're doing it.
Maybe.
No, you won't.
Maybe not every day.
Because you know what? It's going to be nice because you're going to open up about a lot.
Yeah. Maybe not every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the point.
Where was I too? Am I shifty? Where
Maybe
was I?
maybe
Are you Swifty right now?
Where was I before this?
maybe
what were we just
eat.
talking about?
I could maybe eat something a couple of hours before the podcast starts.
Oh, food, yeah.
So when
Yeah,
it
hopefully.
I'll definitely eat
so when it when
yeah,
the
'cause you can't eat food in the studio.
yeah, of course. So when the food does kick in, it'll be like 30 minutes into
I'm gonna
the show.
I'm gonna show up drunk for the
Good to
first
go.
one.
Really?
I think so. I think that'd be.
James is back there cringing
Hilarious.
now.
Well, I mean, you guys live like right down the street,
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
drive.
right? So you could
Wink,
you
wink.
Could, no, you could easily what I'm saying is
Are you
you could
gonna
easily
walk?
get like a cheap Uber or
Oh,
something.
all right, all right.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Like I
it'd
said,
be
that's what I
$5
want.
Just so you don't
bucks.
drive.
Probably
Yeah,
like $5.
yeah, it's not even. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be down.
It's a good time.
That would be great.
A little truth serum.
Wait, could we drink during the podcast?
No.
Is that a thing?
Not here.
Not here. No.
No. Okay.
We could do it. At
We
home,
can do it
though.
if we did
Oh,
offsite
if we did it at home, yeah, of course.
Listen, I got a great idea. Okay.
I'd like to do like a whiskey.
I've got a
whiskey
great
and cigar episode where like, we're just
Yeah.
trying different whiskeys on air and we review them on
See,
air.
this
and
is what I
cigars.
want this to be like.
I'm down with that
Because rumor has it,
because we can come up with all of these different ideas and just do it.
but rumor has it, there may or may not be a new aquatic facility coming to my house. So, I think that's a perfect
Really?
timing.
Hook up some boom mics. I'll buy
Hook
some.
up-
I'll
hook-
buy
boom
some
mics?
equipment if it gets. If we
Hook
do
it up.
good.
We'll have some nice whiskey and cigars,
Podcast though,
and we're chilling in the aquatic.
are we going to
facility.
do it like Rogan and not just do audio but have video too?
I mean, eventually.
We can. I'll video us smoking cigars, drinking whiskey in a hot tub. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Hell yeah!
On a side note, quick shout out Powerade. I know they don't pay for the sponsorship, but man, I don't like the cucumber one. But like,
I got out
And
of
I-
work
I-
too late to stop and grab a drink, so my acid's killing me. But
oh, this is kind of
gotcha.
acidic, so I don't know if this would be good for you. But like, I'm not a big fan of Powerade, the drink, but their zero waters with zero sugar, zero everything. They did a good job with this. As a fat guy trying not to be too fat, Did a good job.
Not bad.
Gives me a good flavorful option.
Oh, I'm starting to see your neck again.
Is it you're the one eating healthier, right?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I am on some days.
Yeah, some days.
Some days.
You know what you guys should do? Well, I know you guys are.
Well, I also have surgery coming up. So what? Oh yeah, we have to work around that. I'll be
So
able to
literally,
do the show.
every friend of mine that has done it has had huge success in terms of like losing the weight that
Don't
they
get
want to.
keto?
No, intermittent fasting.
Oh, that's what I'm doing now.
Because
That's
you
what I'm
can.
doing now.
So I know it's fasting. My body got used to it. I've been doing it for 2 months now.
I
I
do
lost
7
15 pounds in 1 month.
I do 17.7.
So what's your hours? Like when can you eat?
17.7. So I'm eating like 2:30 to 9:30 is the window I got to be eating in.
Mine's 3 to 10.
It'll probably be a little messed up with the show tonight.
Yeah.
But then I'll just push that window back further.
Mine's 3 to 10.
Yeah.
So you can
Like today,
you
I ate at
essentially can
3:30,
eat,
so I can eat 10 till 10:30.
and you don't even have to diet. You can eat whatever you want between the hours of 3 and 10. But in between, outside of that, you can't eat anything.
You don't eat anything.
But you
Just
can drink. You can drink whatever.
Black
but you
coffee,
can't eat anything.
black coffee, tea, water, like Gatorades.
Mm-hmm.
No soda. Soda will kick you out of fasting because of the sugar. That's the thought, though. It kicks you out of that like sugar state.
I'm thinking about some chicken wings sliding down the back of my throat right now.
But I've also been eating healthier on top of fasting. So,
That's good.
but we got to figure out the show. What days? If my surgery?
What days is everybody occupied?
Ooh, my surgery will be on a Thursday, so we'll be all right. We'll have the shows.
You'll be okay.
Okay.
What day are we thinking about doing the podcast?
Scrippage?
Don't matter. Whenever, really. Whenever the studio's
That's another
open.
good. That's good.
We just have to figure out what day we want to release them on.
We don't need to be in here to do it. I mean, it'd be nice.
But to come in, we'd edit them here likely.
I feel like
I
for
don't know.
the first, our first few episodes should be
Until
in
we
here.
get a full swing of things.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Just to
'Cause we're
get the
gonna-
professional quality going, get a groove.
So what I would say is we'll probably edit it. I mean, unless you want to be here, Ryan, but we can edit it during the week when we have like James to be able to kind of help us.
Mm-hmm.
Because a day that we have off in the afternoon, Ryan might
I
be
could do
working,
that.
but we can always.
What days do you guys usually have
Actually,
off?
you have usually a
Or is
couple
it-
weekdays, so that'll work.
I'm off Thursdays, Fridays,
Yeah,
and
so
Sundays.
that'll work. I'd like to probably drop the podcast Friday night or Saturday afternoon,
Okay.
and then give people like they can watch it over the weekend.
Yeah, because there's
But then that gives us all week to record and edit.
because me and you remember the guy Zach that came that one time?
Yeah,
Me and him have been talking about for years about starting up a podcast like this, and I
I'd like
was
to get a
like,
guest on this show.
and if
too.
we can. I mentioned it to him, and if you guys are down to have him on, because I know Drew obviously has a lot of scheduling conflicts, so if we add a fourth guy in here.
I'm
And
always down. I'm down. I'd like to rotate.
He's super knowledgeable politically, too.
Yeah, I'd like to rotate because I don't want to have to try to do 5 if we have Drew.
Right,
in.
right.
So like if we have like a rotating spot where
Yeah.
we do like Drew, maybe.
Plus, he
when
lives
Tim's
up in
cousin, I think,
he
might
lives
come
up in
back, so-
Hanover anyway, and he
Yeah.
works in Braintree, so the drive down here is.
Yeah, so
tough
every couple
anyway,
weeks,
but-
and then like Tim's cousin, if he can, I'd like.
But
to
I mean,
keep,
he could be like a consistent guest,
because
type
I don't
of thing.
know. I mean, we haven't really talked to Drew too much on it, but I know like the 3 of us are dead set, so I'd like to have a roaming spot where we whether it's us 3 and then we have someone filling in, whatever, and we can just schedule it out.
Yeah, and now that certain sequences of events in my life have taken place now, obviously. Now I'll be able to have a more consistent schedule, and I'll be able to devote more time to putting in for, not just this show, but the podcast too, and maybe think about promoting it a little bit more, maybe buying some ad space on
And
Facebook,
I have a ton of time coming
things
up
like that.
after March 10th. March 10th.
Oh, really?
4 to 6 weeks. Jess will be not here, so I'll have 6 weeks of time to just whatever.
Wow.
So, except for my surgery, but like I said, I have PT 2 days after my surgery, so
Right.
I'll be able to do things I need to do.
Okay.
On that note, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna
take
start
it,
to. We can probably push to 7 minutes and roll it.
Yeah, I would roll it.
Yeah, I'll roll it.
We
We're
could
gonna
start.
hold
You could start the
for
break
6
at like
minutes.
22 or 23.
We'll start the show like midday.
Yeah. So first episode. Okay. Quick question, right? Pilot episode for our podcast. Right off the top of your head, right? Topics. Go. Right off the top of your head. Just right off the top of your head.
I would think like just like funny stories. I don't know. Something we gotta have a lot
Just
of.
right off the top of your head.
I can't drop it on here
Why?
because it's not appropriate.
No, just ideas.
No, I can't drop it here.
Oh, it's just not appropriate.
It's just no.
Snowflakes? Is that Is that one of them?
Oh, I know
No?
what I was going to say before the break. I mean, before I got sidetracked on my own, was those that watch. It's funny too because Jeremy Connor. I know you'd mentioned it. And everyone always asks me if this mic would stay up here. Everyone always asks me like, "Oh, why don't you delete him?"
That one's such a loose.
It is.
Like, mic,
I just want to
yeah.
stay on air. Hey, he's a good
Yeah.
dude. He means well. Okay. I don't delete people.
Is he a friend?
I used to work with him at Toby Keith, sort of Tim. He's a
Okay.
good guy. I know.
So an acquaintance, more or less.
Yeah, he's not a
He's
bad
a good
dude.
guy. I never delete anybody for their opinion. Never. I've never.
For differing opinions.
I've deleted a couple people that are just like ridiculous, and that was like years and years ago. But I've never in my life deleted anybody off Facebook for like a difference of opinion. Even people that I really like hate, I don't delete people because like for me, when you delete me off Facebook and you see me in public, I'm not going to talk to you.
Right.
And I watch who deletes me, so I know. And like, if you delete me off Facebook, don't try to say hi to me. You're dead to me.
Yeah.
And that sounds extreme, but like if you don't have the respect to value my opinion, even mute my page. Like my old manager, who I've talked to many times, he muted my Facebook years ago. He's like, "You're crazy on Facebook," but I muted you.
Muted you or
Yeah, you can like
delete
mute it so that he doesn't see all my posts.
Oh, that's fine.
And like I don't care.
That's
but, like
fine.
if you delete me,
To turn off like notifications or unfollow.
yeah, but like if you delete me, just know that I am not going to say hi to you. Mm-hmm. Don't try to say hi to me.
Right,
That's always been my MO. And I've posted about it, and it's like, I don't delete people because I respect their opinion, whether it's...
And that's not petty at all.
No,
Because
yeah.
they deleted you based on
my opinion and my beliefs.
based on beliefs and opinion.
Yeah.
Like you have
And-
to respect people for
and
it.
I'm never...
whether you agree with it or
Yeah,
not.
and I'm never terrible to people that I know and respect. I can be like, kind of like... very opinionated and
I mean,
I can be
you-
like sharp
like
edged.
you guys and Jeremy have like butted heads a few
Yeah,
times in
yeah.
terms of like chirping at each other, but it's not.
No, I mean I never.
It's not to
I
the
never
point of being
bash people.
disrespectful.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah.
I'm. I may be somewhat disrespectful to people I do not know, but if you're on my friends list, I'm really never disrespectful to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So people that delete me, it's just based out of you not liking my opinion or my beliefs, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to do what they want, but just don't be my friend afterwards.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Or like don't hit me up asking for a job in like 3 years.
Yeah.
That's happened. So it's like,
Oh God.
no. But
Oh Jesus.
yeah, no, he's a great guy, so that's
Yeah.
why I keep him around. I try not to delete anybody. I like everybody.
I'm with you on that.
We have. This is like a podcast in its own, but like we have
It
free
really is.
will to disagree. Like we're designed to disagree. No one is designed to agree on anything.
Yep.
If we'd be in utopia if we all agreed on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like the theory that, and I'm not saying we have to be offended by everything, but we have to understand that there's differing opinions, and that your opinion is not always right. My opinion is not always right. I think it is, but it's your job to defend your opinion and teach me otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have debates in politics. It's called civil discourse.
Yep.
Civil discourse.
It's called being
keyword
human.
civil.
It's called being freaking human. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. So, but I don't know. So it's just I
Is
don't
what
want
it
to rant
is.
too long. But yeah,
Anyway.
but he's a good dude. That's why I like him.
Off topic. You see what Tom Brady posted the other day about his his interview with that British guy, night show host, James Corden.
Yeah, he's
Corden.
annoying.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's annoying. I don't like that dude.
Who's
Well,
James?
Yeah, the British guy.
I don't know if I saw what he put up.
Nothing big.
He
Giselle
he
wanted to
interviewed
retire.
he interviewed Brady remotely, and they were talking about the celebration of the Super Bowl and how Brady was making that toss, right? And he was like, it's a party when my 8-year-old daughter is the most sensible person in that entire place. And like he tossed it, and he was like, it was a complete pass, so mission accomplished. But if it was an incomplete pass, that Super Bowl trophy's going 80 feet down. And he was just like,
Ridiculous. I still can't believe he did
I
that.
don't know about that.
yeah. I think this Super Bowl was the one Super Bowl that I think Tom Brady got the most lit.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
yeah.
all 7 of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well,
By
I
far.
feel like he just it was like a relief.
Yeah,
you know?
think about the
Oh,
stress
God,
that
yeah.
was on him, man.
Oh yeah.
The relief.
So did you see the part where?
Just keep in mind we're breaking in a minute.
So
Yeah.
he wins the game, and he's looking around. All of a sudden, he sees his kid, and his kid, Dad, and all of a sudden he goes to hug him, and then the two little kids come running up, and as Giselle's coming up to him, she goes up to him and gives him the hug, and the first words out of her mouth is, "What left do you have to prove?"
After the Super Bowl?
Right when she walked right up to him. What else do you have
When
left
she
to
won?
prove?
When he won it?
When he won. As soon as she walks up to him, looks at him.
You could see it?
What else do you have left?
You could
to
read
prove?
the lips?
No. He said that on the interview.
Oh.
So she was pushing for him to go up on the podium and say that he retires. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, no.
So he's saying, he said, so I quickly had to change the topic to get her off of it.
Wow.
Yep. So she wanted him to retire right after the game.
Which would be terrible to do to the franchise.
Yeah. No, obviously
he's not gonna. He's got
he's
2
coming
more
back.
years.
He's coming
minimum.
back.
2-3 years at
Probably
least.
3,
He'll come back and play.
He'll play whatever Evans.
He said it from day one, man.
Yeah.
He wants to play till he's at least 45.
Yep.
Like he wants to, especially because if he does that, can you imagine what the TB12 brand is going to be like?
Yeah.
I mean, the brand.
It's already huge.
Like, the brand's
But
already.
it's just going to be.
What age did Brett Favre
All
retire?
right. Sorry. On that note, we got a break.
Go
Come
it.
back
Do
to
it.
this.
Do it.
508-222-1320.
We got an open line.
That's something Ryan put on there. Welcome back, Gim. What?
That's something I
What
put on
just
there?
happened? I don't know. It's on our thing.
What's it called?
Get Up by James Brown.
I didn't put that on there. Dude, there's so many James Brown songs on our playlist.
Who put them on there?
Not me.
Someone's out there screwing with us.
It ain't me. They are screwed. What did you say? Like a what? A sex fiend? Is that what he said?
Sex machine, I think.
Sex machine.
You can say
what?
that? I hope you can say that.
Yeah, you can say so.
Yeah, you can say sex machine. Yeah.
There's so much
What?
on there. I don't know. It was cued next, so I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, it's something Ryan likes.
Just roll with it.
We got to go through this thing. Who put
Dude,
on-
that's hilarious.
Yeah, some of this stuff on here. Here, let's make up for it.
Ah, crap. I haven't been following along with the comments. Sorry, people.
5 o'clock. Just got paid.
5 o'clock. I'll be off the next 2 days. No more work.
You never heard the song?
Like
Nope.
dogs.
God, I love Jay
No
Owen.
more
Terrible.
leash. No more
Cut it off!
boss.
Cut it off!
I got a weekend
Cut it off!
full of nothing to do.
Turn
at
off
all.
the lights! Turn off the
Yeehaw.
lights!
There's a little music to make
We
up
done?
for.
Yeehaw.
Let's go. Hey, these people tune in to listen to sports. All right, not crappy music
Do
choices.
Hey, watch your mouth. It's Jay Owen.
Crap. With a capital
All right, what do we
C.
got for comments? First off, quick.
I haven't
shout
even
out.
checked the comments, so sorry, guys. I should be following along, but
Quick shout out, Ricky Santiago, for the like on MVP
yeah,
Sports Talk Radio.
that's my boy.
All right, quick shout out.
Oh,
Quick shout out.
Ricky.
That's my boy.
See, you like it on air, I'll call you out
We've
on
been
air.
friends since, or we were friends in the 4th grade. I hadn't talked to him probably since 6th grade, and he reached out to me a few weeks ago,
So he's really not a
just
friend.
randomly on Facebook Messenger, and we reconnected.
Hey, well, shout out for the like, brother.
Dude's the
Appreciate it.
man.
Folks at home, like the
Oh,
show?
yeah,
Now shout you
brother.
out. That's how this works. On that note, we're going to dive into some sports. We got a lot to talk about. We got J.J. Watt with a new home. We got one of the best UFC cards I've seen
We
in the
need to
last
talk about
5 years probably coming up. Jam-packed. Probably your best bang for your buck on any pay-per-view or
I'm
ESPN
going to
event
be.
you're ever going to see.
We need to put so much money on this pay-per-view card, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I was thinking about how much I want to put on Amanda Nunes.
no, I wouldn't put anything on her. I would
Correct.
put it on Megan.
You're
I would put it on Megan. Do you know the payouts on Megan, bro? If you parlay her with like Jan, for instance, your $5 is like
Jan's-
700, dude. It's insane.
Okay, so now we're going to end up slowing back down and going to sports. bet.
700
I feel like-
freaking billion.
You don't think Amanda Nunes is going to dominate that fight?
Oh no, I know she will. Like, but at the
Talking
same
about betting
time,
odds?
Megan Anderson is like under the radar, and she's legit, man. She's legit. And if Amanda takes her lightly, she could lose.
Why am I not seeing mixed martial arts on Sportsbook?
We got rid of it.
There it is.
They better not have gotten.
Nah,
rid
they
of it.
didn't. It's right there. All right, who do you want to do?
So do Jan and Megan and see what it's
You
like.
think Jan's in a...
No, just
They're a
just-
dead heat. Jan,
what?
They're both minus 110. Jan
No,
and
Jan,
Sterling.
Blachowicz. So take Blachowicz and take Megan and see what the payout is. It's insane. Because Megan's like plus 900, dude.
Where is their fight?
I don't know, where is it?
I can't find it.
Yes, we are big on sports betting, folks, on this show. Just so you know. Just so you know.
Did you see that?
Did I see what?
I don't see her on there.
What? All right, do I have to go to my app now? Birdo! Do I need to go to my
Who's
app
she
now?
fighting?
Who? Megan?
Yeah, she's fighting...
Is Nunes. Megan Anderson, Amanda Nunes.
Oh, she's fight. You want to put money on her?
Yes. I want to put money on Megan Anderson because
Ew.
of the odds.
Nunes is minus 1100. I ain't putting
That's
nothing
why
on
you
her
don't put
then.
money on her.
What is it?
It's
$100
not-
pays you 11. Ugh.
That's crazy. So I take John Blachowicz, and I over Adesanya. I'm not saying he's gonna win. I'm just saying
Adesanya?
it's worth.
Adesanya's
No.
winning.
Oh, he's winning. I'm about to empty the bag on him.
Okay, so if you take John Blachowicz to beat Adesanya, and you take Megan Anderson to beat Nunes, your $20 becomes $460. If you want to, honestly, dude, like I would drop $5 on that. and that's 115.
Yeah, I'd probably drop $5.
I mean, shoot, I'll even because I think Aljamain Sterling's going to beat Piotr Jan, so throw Sterling in there.
You think Sterling's gonna win?
Yeah, I do. As long as he doesn't get hit. So if you throw Sterling in there, your 20 becomes $896. So your $20 bet almost becomes $900. That's worth it to me. Just to toss 20 in to say, to see the biggest upsets in UFC history. Why the hell not? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
$20 on Adesanya, Noon, Sterling, and Song Yadong pays $78. It's not awful. Anyway, what a card. I'm excited. I love watching Amanda Nunes fight. Probably one of my favorite fighters of all time. Getting up there. Her style, I love it. I love her energy, love her style.
I do too.
Can't wait.
Nunes is the greatest female fighter of all time. And, I mean, honestly, if you keep progressing the way you're going to go here and the way that she's just been dominating literally everybody, she'll be the greatest of all time. Not John Jones.
Especially if she keeps defending 2 titles.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mississippi.
Mississippi?
Mm-hmm.
What about Mississippi? Oh.
More masks.
Oh, so Texas was the first to do it.
Mississippi.
Mississippi's
Missouri
following
was
up.
in there.
Missouri's in
I
there.
believe.
Oh, Mississippi just did it?
Mississippi just did it as of tomorrow. All businesses are 100% open.
Would you look at that?
It's weird, man.
Kathy Boyley, hello.
It's weird.
Zach, you would be a cool addition, buddy.
Let's talk mask on the first podcast.
Masks?
Oh, yeah.
Talk pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Pandemic talk?
I got some quarantine stories for you.
Mm-hmm. Get some
Have you,
get
you
some
didn't
hot
have, you didn't
takes.
have COVID yet, right? No.
No.
So nobody here has?
But I've been tested 15 times now. Yeah.
You hang out with some dirty people, bro.
No, I just travel. And to come back to work so I don't have to quarantine and not get paid for it, you have to test negative.
True.
So.
Or, hear me out, you just don't
you
tell
go.
me you travel.
No, that too.
I mean, I would never do that.
I've been to Florida twice, once during the big part of the pandemic, and I've been fine, so I don't know.
Drew Dober and McCabe. Wow.
I don't know what that says
Thiago
about
Santos.
COVID. But I want to talk J.J. Watt.
You want to talk J.J. Watt?
Let's
You want
talk
to start
it.
off with
Yeah.
J.J. Watt?
I got a great idea.
What?
And I mentioned this last night, so you know where I'm going to go for it. If you're Arizona.
I haven't been following along with the MVP talk very
So
much.
No. It was just me and him just talking on
okay,
PS4.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
If you're Arizona, you pick up that phone, you dial up that Houston, Texas number,
Oh, yeah?
and you ask if they're interested in sending Deshaun Watson up your way,
Oh,
Tyler.
stop
No, I'm
it.
serious. I'm serious.
Oh, are we
I'm
going,
serious.
Are we going to
You-
do this again?
I'm serious. Do you ask them?
For what?
Deshaun Watson for Kyler Murray.
Straight up?
Straight up. Or maybe you have to throw a third-round pick or something in there.
Nah, they would want more than that.
I'm sure they're going to want something.
Because what? So,
I don't know, because they're at the
'cause
point now where they're
Kyler-
going to have to bench him and not get anything out of it.
Oh, Watson?
Texans.
So, all right, so you think about it. Number one, right?
They're getting close to
I'll entertain the thought.
So
Go ahead.
So hear it out. All right. So
I'll
number one,
entertain it.
you get Kyler Murray
We're back to sports, folks.
in Houston, right? So you get a young quarterback. What is his third year he's going to be in? Because last year was his second year, right?
Correct.
All right. So you get a third-year quarterback who's still got, what, 2 years left on his deal this year and next year?
And still a super high ceiling.
Right.
Yep.
And you can now build around him.
Yep.
Okay. You bring Deshaun to Arizona. Obviously, we know the history with D-Hop and, J.J. Watt. And J.J. Watt's a huge Deshaun supporter. Okay. He's gone out there the last couple of days saying, he deserves to be happy.
For the record, if this trade would be probably the most insane trade in NFL history, just so you know.
Oh, I think it would too.
It would be
But I also-
absolutely insanity.
I
Absolute
also
insanity.
think that it instantly elevates Arizona to the number one team in that division.
Yeah. I'm with
Like, without a doubt.
In the division?
In the division, probably even in the conference. All right, so now this is why I say this.
Their question mark is defense.
Fine. But now you have the number one and number two sack leader, and I believe in the last 5 years.
Oh, and you repair D-Hop and Watson
Yes.
together?
Yes.
You bring them back?
And you have talent at tight end. You have a decent running back. I'm telling you, man.
That would be.
It's not as crazy as everyone makes it out to.
No, I'm not saying it's crazy.
You can't,
I'm just saying I would
tell me
entertain
that
that
Deshaun
thought.
Watson's not sitting there like,
It's kind of,
and it's a win-win.
It's cool.
The only reason why I don't think it gets done is because the ceiling,
insane.
The ceiling for Murray is really unknown, but is the ceiling for Watson unknown? Do we know? Is this as good as he's going to get?
And then
Especially
if other problem would be if Kyler comes out before and says, "Oh, I would never play there. I'll do the same thing as Watson."
But you know what though? A little, on a rookie deal, it's a little bit different than what Deshaun's got. Deshaun's got what, 140 million locked up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean we're talking. He's probably got 10% of
He's
what.
Smart though. He got his
Deshaun's
guaranteed money now. He's like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening. I'm excited though, man. I mean, listen, a lot of people are like, "Oh, why would he go there? Why would he go there?" Arizona's they had a good year last year. They're not that far off.
Hear me out here. Here's my scenario.
Okay.
3-team trade.
Oh, here we go. This is gonna be good.
Okay. So, Miami.
Does this include New England getting a quarterback?
It does.
Oh, here we go.
Miami. Well, the first trade needs to happen.
Does this still include Arizona, or are we going different paths?
No, it's different path.
All right, so we're on a whole different topic.
Different
now.
path.
All right, different
It's
topic.
going to
All
be
right.
Miami,
Different path.
New England, Houston.
Miami sends Tua and their first round pick and probably and a series of first round picks to Houston for Watson.
Okay.
Miami gets Watson.
Yeah.
Tua goes to Houston.
Okay.
We trade 15 for Tua.
I don't
want to.
All right, Tua won't work.
The problem is too many people.
Why?
Look how many guys that have either played on Bama or just are on Miami.
You bring
Tua won't work.
Too many players have said they would rather have Mac Jones over Tua.
I've got
so
one
why
for you.
why would I trade the pick I could get Jones at and get Tua, who everyone says is a worse pick?
Because Tua did more on that team with less.
I don't
know. I will tell you, Marcus Mariota's not coming here to New England.
Why do you think that?
Out of his camp today, he's not interested in a contract buyout, so which means that he would be required to be released from Oakland because he's not going to take anything less than what he's already got from Oakland. I don't see New England paying him $10 million at minimum to come here.
Who?
Marcus Mariota.
$10 million a year?
Yeah, because right now he's at $10 million. Sitting on the Raiders' bench, he's making $10 million for the season.
I mean, especially
They're not going to trade him because he's not willing to restructure his contract. So no one's going to take that contract.
And he's too on what he's been a backup. He hasn't started in what,
He hasn't
2 or
started
3 years.
well, I mean, other than I think there was a game last season that
he's stupid because they're going to release him and people are going to offer him way less.
Yeah, but he'll still get his dead cap money from Oakland,
Which is what, 6, I think.
No, that contract was guaranteed. It's $10 million guaranteed if he's released.
Terrible
There's no roster bonus at this time.
Yeah, so he wants 10.
So
there.
his money's guaranteed.
So he's
So
thinking,
wherever he goes has to.
I'll
pay.
make 10 and then get $4 million somewhere else.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Oakland have to pay him cash to get out.
Yeah. So and I don't think.
And
so
is he
get
that
into
much more of a significant upgrade than Cam? No.
No, we can talk about that too because I definitely want to address that. But
I think it's Mac Jones or Newton. I think that's where Belichick's at.
So we can all agree that Jimmy Garoppolo's number one target, right? If
I'm with you there.
If you came to Bill Belichick right now and said, "Hey, you can have your quarterback pick."
Where's Steven? Who's Steven? Oh, this Dave. This isn't the Steven the Medium show. This is MVP Sports Talk Radio.
Anyway,
they're the show before us.
Anyways, so
continue.
Bill comes in.
We can try.
Bill comes in, and you say, "Hey, Bill, pick your guy." We all know, man, it's Garoppolo. He wanted Garoppolo since day one. He didn't want Brady. He wanted Garoppolo.
Yep.
Okay. Now, in order to get Garoppolo, I think it takes the Panthers trading Teddy Bridgewater to. So this would be your 3-team trade or your 4-team trade. So it'd be Houston sending Watson to Carolina. Probably would take Christian McCaffrey and some picks. Could even have to take.
Wait, what?
Yes, this is what's going around right now in
They
the NFL.
won't trade McCaffrey.
They already said
They're open to it. They've said nobody is on lock. And it's probably because, dude, think about it.
They say that.
Think about it. The last 2 years, he hasn't been the healthiest because their offense has relied so much on him.
This season was the unhealthiest.
Right. And
last year, he was the number one running back in fantasy.
Right, but he had injuries last year, too, with his ankle. And then the year before that was also his ankle. So they're concerned. So they said there's nobody that we're going to hold back if that's what's going to take him. So right now they're saying a first, McCaffrey, I believe Bridgewater, and a second. That's what the rumor is. So anyways, Watson would go to Carolina. Carolina would send Bridgewater, McCaffrey to Houston. Then you would send Bridgewater to San Francisco, and San Francisco would send Jimmy G to New England. And you would have the first round and the 15 probably go to San Francisco, and then you'd probably get a second or third round back somewhere in that trade.
So 2020 was the first season he missed a game.
Okay.
He played all 16 games in 2017,
All right,
18,
so there
and 19.
was aggravations or whatever, because I know that they said that the big concern with him is that he's not healthy enough. So,
I mean, he's still young too, man.
yeah.
And that's a game-changing back. Like, that does everything. So, I don't know, man.
So,
that's
I would
I
tell
don't
you.
know. I don't see Carolina giving him up, though.
Oh, I can see it. They gotta build. They gotta build. All right. So realistically, when did he come into the league? And what's his contract status?
2017, so he's still on his rookie deal.
Okay, so they're gonna have to pay him, right? Might as well get what you need to get for him. Who says he's gonna come back here? He wants to. He wants to win.
If you get big money on him now before you have to pay him, that's ideal.
Think about it. He's gonna demand higher than what Zeke got. What did Zeke get? 4 years or what?
Zeke didn't get paid that much.
I thought he got paid.
I think he's making like 11 a year,
No.
somewhere around
No.
that.
He got paid.
I'll check. Hang on.
No, he got paid because I remember the Bleacher Report put out the meme there, and he's got the bowl of money, and he's doing the Zeke thing. I want to say it was like 4 years, 120.
Oh, 6 year, 90.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was what, 28 guaranteed at signing.
Yeah, so 6 years,
Total
90.
guaranteed
50
is
guaranteed.
50.
All right, so he's making 15
Yeah, but he
million.
got 28 mil at signing.
So 15 a year. Okay.
Yeah, so he's making 15 million
Yeah,
a
he
year.
got 28
so
mil
you
up
can't
front.
tell me that Christian McCaffrey's not going to demand 18 to 20
and a
now.
7.5
18
signing
to
bonus.
20?
How many years ago was that?
19.
So
2019.
2 years ago.
Yep.
And he's outperformed.
2 years ago, 15 a year.
And he's outperformed Zeke by far. So he's going to demand easily $18 million.
Smart though.
Easily.
A lot of it was
About
dead
18.
cash up front.
Easily.
Who's going to want to spend 18 bucks, 18
That's
million
exactly
a year on
the
a running
point.
back?
But that's exactly the point.
That's the thing.
So Carolina's not going to pay him that, so they're going to trade him now, get what they can. They'll get Watson, build around Watson, and go from there.
I just don't see him trading McCaffrey. They love him down there.
Yeah,
I
well,
just don't see it.
We all know it's a business.
I'm not.
We all know it's a business.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
This
but
would be the year it would happen.
I'm telling you.
yeah. I'm with you.
He's going to go there. It's either there or Miami. And I don't see him going to Miami because even with them releasing Kyle Van Noy, which I think is stupid, but I'll take it.
Did he really underperform that last year so much
listen,
to the point where they have to release him?
The last 3 games, 100% of the snaps. And he was your team captain.
So, you know why they released him?
They released him because of the cap.
To free up cap space
Yeah.
for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, but how do you get Deshaun Watson?
I don't know.
Like, realistically.
Like, that's the only thing
all right,
I can think
So let
of.
me ask you this. Is Tua alone going to get you Deshaun Watson?
No, absolutely not.
Is Tua and a first going to get you Deshaun Watson?
Two and a first,
3.
maybe 2 firsts.
So you're
I
going
would
to
say
tell me.
2.
So you're going to tell me for the next 3 years.
Because you're giving him a first round. So essentially,
Giving him
Tua is a
first-round
first round
QB.
pick.
Yeah, so then you're
So
saying,
you're giving him
but
essentially
they're not
3
gonna
first
take
round
3
picks already.
first rounds for him.
All right, so just hear me out.
Yeah,
all right,
4
And then
Fine.
and then they could add a player in too.
Fine. We'll say Deshaun Watson and 2 first round picks, or 2 and 2 first round picks. So for the next 3 years, that's it. Or the next 2 years.
What do you mean for the next?
For the next 2 years, you're not gonna have any first round pick.
Yeah.
Who else do you have on that team for talent? You're gonna waste Deshaun Watson.
Well, no, because they still have a first round pick next year, from Houston.
Right.
So they can
So
give up.
they're gonna have their 1 first round pick.
Yeah.
next
So
year.
they'll
Fine.
still have a first round pick. Yeah.
I just don't see that team having enough talent around him that's gonna make him be like, yeah, you know what, I want to go there.
Their only bet would be like,
Who, Deshaun?
Yeah.
So they still.
Who do they have for receiver?
So they'll give Houston's pick back at number 3.
Yep.
For Watson.
Yep.
But Miami still has their first round pick this year.
Okay.
Back in like the 20s, where they can draft a receiver.
Okay.
And Devontae Smith might be
No,
sitting
Devontae
there.
Smith is not. Listen, he's not going to make it past New England at 15.
Either way,
I can
this
guarantee
this is an extremely deep draft class at the wide receiver
I don't think it's
position.
that deep, and you want to know why I don't think it's that deep? Because there really wasn't a lot to showcase talent.
Who is
A lot
it?
of these
Who
guys.
is it? Yeehaw.
caller, how you doing? You're on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, hey, it's
how's
Drew.
your evening?
What, did the
going?
caller ID not pop up?
It just says unavailable.
Oh, okay. How you doing, buddy?
calling
What's
him
up,
a bird
guys?
phone.
We got
going on?
we got the whole gangs here. The whole gangs
We do have the
here.
whole game, but we do have a break.
We have a break?
I was going to hold the call till after the break, but then I didn't think it was Drew, so I took it.
Or what if you roll this break into the top of the hour? Yay or nay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I'll call you right back.
All right. We'll take the break. You call right back.
Okay. All right.
Roger.
All right, we'll take it real quick.
So on that note, stick around. MVP Sports coming back. We're talking trades. We're talking Deshaun. We're talking every little bit of football. Stick around. 508-222-1320. MVP Sports Talk Radio live, Attleboro, Massachusetts. We're back. We're talking trades. We're talking Deshaun Watson. Where is he going? Should he stay or should he go now? What's happening?
Should I stay or should I go?
I'd like to get some take from my friends down in Texas. I don't know if they're listening tonight, but if y'all are, call in because I'd like to know the MO down there. I think he's staying. I think he's riding the bench. I think he's going to collect a check and ruin his career.
You think he's going to pull a Le'Veon Bell?
I do.
No.
I think that organization.
I think he could.
I think that organization.
If they don't trade him, you think he's still going to play for him?
They're going to put their foot down.
Nah, Houston's going to trade him.
They'll
trade him.
Essentially,
they're
have
not going to pay him that. There's no way. All right, listen. This first year underneath Nick Cassero, okay, you think this GM is going to come in and his first move is going to be he lets a star player sit on the bench because he wants to throw a hissy fit and collect all that money? No chance. He'll either get released or
they can start
traded.
fining him. They would start fining him.
Yeah, but it's never going to be compared to what he's making. You know what I mean? Like realistically,
Put the foot down.
Realistically, the NFL's broken. The NFL should say if you do not play one snap that year, you do not get paid.
Yeah, except for injury.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you decide
Or
to not
no,
play,
or
all
if you
that
decide
money,
not
you
to
pay
play,
back.
or if you decide not to play, you give them the amount that like Dante Hightower got this year, which is how much?
No,
Because
so
he said he wasn't playing this season. He's not getting his
Yeah,
full.
yeah.
no, they got 150,000.
There you go.
So I'm not going to pay him 150,000 still.
That's
Why?
what I would
Because
do.
you're choosing not to play for this team because you're throwing a hissy fit.
So you
you're a toddler.
don't make the money on your contract.
No, you don't make anything.
We fine you,
You don't make anything.
and you only get the 150.
You don't make anything.
That's not how the NFL works.
Guaranteed should be not for like I'm going to sit out.
No,
Because then
it should be.
realistically, I could go play one season, get $100 million guaranteed, and be like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to retire.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay,
Talk to me.
this is gonna be a great example. Okay, me and Nick, we went down. Right,
Here we go.
we went to our timeshare
Yeah.
thing. They said,
Uh-huh.
hey, we're gonna give you $250 to go to this seminar. Okay, but we need you to put your credit card down. Well, why is that? Well, because if you don't show up, we're gonna charge your credit card the money. Okay, fine.
The 250.
Yeah, so if you didn't show up,
Instead of us giving you 250, you're giving us 250.
well, no, because
No,
they already
you
gave
keep
you
it.
the money. They gave you the Visa card up front, so you've already given me the money. So I get the money on Wednesday or Thursday. If I didn't show up on Monday, they would have charged the credit card the $250 because I didn't show up. So I can't just take the
Oh.
money and run.
Right. Okay.
So if I'm the NFL,
I get that.
hey, guaranteed money. Here's the deal, though. If you break a contract at any point, all that guaranteed money you owe back. Problem solved.
NFL would never do that.
No, because they're pushovers, and they let the stars run the league. Bottom line.
No, the NBA lets the stars. run
The NFL does too.
all
The
the
NFL is
Not
almost,
to the
listen
extent
me,
of the
listen to
NBA.
me. The NFL is almost as bad as the NBA.
Not
No,
even close.
How? How's it not even close?
Here's
How's
the
it not even
problem.
close?
Here's the problem.
How's it not
they
close?
don't treat it like a business. Everyone's saying like they gotta stop letting the owners run it. The players are employees. You're
See,
employed
the
by
Patriots-
the team.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Patriots run it like it's a business.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why all these guys go, oh, it's no fun, it's no fun. No, it's no fun because in New England, it's a thing called work because you do your job. And if you don't, you're out. All these other teams are okay with having all these slop, you know what, come in and
That's
not
why
do
they
their
don't
job
win.
and collect a check, okay?
why they don't win.
So we'll say this. The other 31 teams in the NFL, okay, you're welfare recipients. You're getting free money to do absolutely nothing. Tell me I'm wrong.
On what?
On all these stars that can come in and just dictate how they want to do things.
Well, yeah, they're trying.
Look
I mean,
look at the trades that we've just seen.
what trades in the NFL?
Yeah.
Like what?
All right. So
Like, give me an example.
So who switched teams recently? Carson Wentz, number one.
JJ Watt, Carson Wentz.
Not
yeah.
so much JJ Watt because he was released.
Yeah.
But Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like my coach and my time here in Philly's done, so I'm not going to play another down. We knew when they sat on the sidelines, him, Ertz, and who was the other one that was with him? The center there, Jason Kelsey. Mm-hmm. They're all saying, "Oh, he's played his last down."
Yeah.
They go get rid of the coach. Oh no, I'm still leaving. Same thing Deshaun Watson's doing now. They get rid of the coach.
Right.
Oh, no,
So
I'm
Wentz
still
wants to
leaving.
go. Philly
But
wants.
you're- okay.
Philly has made it known that they want to move on with Jalen.
But-
They want to move forward with
No, that was
Jalen
the
Hurts.
coach. That was the coach. That was the coach. 2 years ago, you had the coach,
And now Peterson's
Peterson,
gone.
sitting there saying, "Oh, we're just getting started." Now all of a sudden, you want to move on from him? Why?
Right.
Because they weren't talking the last 10 months. Why? Because the
he's
player,
always hurt?
Because the player can't come in and keep his mouth shut and listen to the coach. That's the problem. Same thing with the Celtics now. They're not listening to the coach. We can get on that after. I want to stay in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have all these coaches that are coming in and the players, "Oh, I don't want to play for him." I'm sorry. Are you underneath contract? Did you already sign your money? Did you already get paid? Oh, okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Show up for work. If you don't, you're fined. And if you're not, you're fired. And it should be if you release them, they don't get paid. Because either way,
and
either way.
someone else deal with
Technically,
it,
they
free
don't.
agents.
The only money they
No.
get is their guaranteed money.
Well, sometimes if they're on the roster past a certain date, they get the roster bonus.
Right.
You shouldn't get that.
No, you should.
And if they
Because-
ride out a season, not
No, I'm with
playing
you. I'm with
if
you.
they ride out a season not playing a snap and Houston wins, he still gets a ring and he gets a Super Bowl
Yeah.
bonus for something he didn't do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not
Exactly.
disagreeing with you.
So-
I'm not disagreeing with you
You
at
just
all.
need to treat
That's
it
just
more like
not.
a company. It is a company.
No, the NFL is ran by the players.
And your problem is you got guys like Randy Moss and
And you know what?
all these guys who come out and are like, nah, they should do that. Stop letting the rich owners run the league. The rich owners are what pay you.
Correct.
The rich owners.
Well, the rich, the fans are what paid.
Yeah, but I mean, the rich owners started a business, bought a business, and did it. All right, like Kraft, right? Myra
Listen,
Kraft
it
fronted
goes
how many
back-
millions? Hundreds of millions to buy the organization?
Right.
A lot.
I'm not going to sit there.
Where was any players doing that?
I'm not going to sit there and say the whole shut up and dribble or shut up and play. What I'm going to say is players play, coaches coach, owners own. That's the bottom line. When you come in as a player and you agree
more.
And you agree to play for that coach underneath that owner, that's it. And no, they don't own you, but guess what? They employ you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your boss.
They're your boss, yeah.
And if you, me, or Nick, if we walked into our boss and said, hey, you know what, boss? I really don't like you. Okay, you know what? I'm not coming to work for you today. What are they going to say to us?
Right.
Okay, see you later.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, we'll pay you until you decide you like
Oh,
somebody.
oh, you don't like us? Okay, hold on. Let me call the owner. He'll find a new boss for you.
We're going to call KFC
Yeah.
and see if they want to employ you. We're going to see if they're going to send us stuff to employ you.
Like, that doesn't
No.
work. But then you have everyone that says, oh, no, it's a business. It's not a business. Okay? It's not a business. This is a bunch of rich crybabies.
So Deshaun
crying.
Watson, his gripe was with ownership, right?
Yeah.
With the McNair family.
Yeah, but the McNair family, like,
Right?
No,
Okay,
his
what
original, no. So because his original gripe was, they told me I was going to get the help pick the coach, and then I didn't get help, so now I'm mad. And then now it was like, okay, well, how about we help pick the coach? And first it was the GM, and then he wanted to be involved on the coach talk, and then they're like, all right, what do you want to do with the coaching? I don't even want to play here. And it's every time they come up with something, it's like, all right, well, what do you want to do, right? So every time they try to fix it, it's something else. And, now it's just, I just don't think I even want to play here. It doesn't matter what you do anymore.
Let me ask you a question. What the hell has Deshaun Watson accomplished in the NFL? What's he accomplished?
I really don't think,
What's he accomplished?
his worth surprises me.
Just answer the question. Just answer the question.
What is
both of you.
worth?
What has he accomplished?
Multiple Pro Bowls.
What's he accomplished?
MVP
What's
candidates.
He won? What's he won? But what's he won?
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't won nothing, right? The correct answer is he's accomplished nothing.
Okay.
He's accomplished nothing.
So what's your point?
So why does he think
He's been on a crappy team his entire career.
crappy or undercoached?
Pretty crappy.
Crappy or undercoached?
Okay, so put it this way: where would the Texans be without him?
Same spot
0-16.
No.
No,
Yeah.
let's say 0-16.
I would.
They did.
I wouldn't.
He's a top
they
five.
had?
They were in the playoffs before he came.
He's established himself as a top
they
five
were-
quarterback
they
in
were
this
in the
league.
play-
The
No, I'll
Texans
give you
have
that.
been on the verge of playoffs every single season with Schaub, with
2011.
How many other quarterbacks?
2011. How great did they have a season with Arian Foster?
With Arian
Yeah.
Foster, was
Yeah.
Schaub the quarterback, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great season. What about 2012?
Okay.
I remember them coming up to New England getting
So is
stomped
it
in the first
Deshaun
round.
Watson's fault that they stink?
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Or like,
what
I'm
telling
trying
you-
to get your.
What I'm telling
He
you,
doesn't
okay,
add
I'm trying
that
to
much
understand your point.
right?
worth.
But what level has he elevated them to that they couldn't get to before him?
That they couldn't get to
Yeah.
before him.
He hasn't taken them any farther than they've already been. So what has he accomplished?
Arguably, he took them back because you had D-Hop, and D-Hop.
Yeah.
Well, no, Bill O'Brien took them back. Gary
There was-
Kubiak had them on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he had D-Hop, and still
And then
you
who
had
was
more
there
tools than
after-
other guys, and
Yeah.
you still did less.
Who was there after Kubiak? Was it Raheem Morris?
After Kubiak,
I thought there was Morris, or was it Bill O'Brien right away?
I think it was O'Brien.
It might have been.
Well, on that note, top of the hour break.
Take it.
We're going to come back into football. We will dive a little more into UFC.
Yeah, anyone who's listening to,
get some thoughts.
either call and throw it in the comments. Just tell me what Deshaun Watson has completed in this league. What's he
we got a
accomplished?
couple people agreeing with you. No work, no pay.
Yeah, but I want to know what he's accomplished to the point where he can sit there and
Wade
dictate.
Phillips.
That's right, where he can sit there and dictate what and who and who doesn't come into the organization.
Brady didn't even get that role.
No, not until this
He's the
year.
GOAT.
Not until the end of this year. And look at what he's accomplished.
Brady's had input,
Yeah, he's that input. But if you're telling me that he went
but
to
not like.
Okay.
But if you're telling me,
but listen, did
his
he go
main
into
thing was receivers, and he never got them.
But did he go into to Kraft's office and say, "Hey, I don't like Bill Belichick. I want him gone, or that I want to be traded"? Did that
Right.
happen?
Well, no, because they were winning.
But they would never do that.
Yeah.
even still, Kraft, supposedly the rumor was that Kraft went over Brady's house and told him, like, you two are never going to agree anymore, and, like, it's better to let you go and let you do your thing, and I have to stick behind Bill. Mm-hmm. because the longer future in Kraft's mind is behind Bill than Brady.
Yeah.
And you had to choose. But you do what the respectable thing is, and you take pride in the guy you chose first, which is Belichick, right? He's the guy that brought you Brady. He's the guy that brought you rings, arguably. So he's your coach. You stick by him. That's like the boss sticking behind their manager, right?
Yeah.
You stick behind him, and if the other guy doesn't like it, that's fine. You leave, and that's what happened, right? Brady didn't like it. He wanted more of this, more of that, and he left. Honorably, right? But with the way that it's happening in Houston...
He left the right way.
Yeah, and the way that it's happening in Houston...
The point that I'm trying to make with Houston, because I know we have to take this break. Nick Cassero is a first-year GM. What good does it do him if he comes into that team, right, and he's trying to set the ship straight and everything like that?
Sure.
He comes in, he says, you know what, Deshaun, you're right. Let me bow down to you. Why don't you pick the coach? Why don't you tell me when you want to play? Why don't I get the players that you want? No, you would lose a locker room. You would lose a locker room, and you wouldn't even have a coach.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. It's not going to work here. And Deshaun Watson, if you continue to have that attitude without accomplishing anything, it ain't going to work anywhere.
No,
it's just that simple.
Top of the hour break. We'll be back. 508-222-1320. Call on in. Welcome back. A little bit of a longer break there. We did roll in the other break we had in the way, so now we're smooth sailing for another, 20 minutes or so of content. Actually, a bit more than 20 minutes. And bringing him in now, we do have Drew live on air now. We are back, full swing of things. Drew, how goes it?
Hey, what's up, gents? How's things for the evening?
Andrew Almeida. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just doing my job and then coming on here to do my play-by-play.
Amen. I think Ryan wanted to roll into basketball.
Oh, no, you want to talk Pats first. We want to talk Pats first, right, Timmy? Talk Pats first and then roll into the NBA?
That's something, Drew.
Yeah? What do you think, Drew? You want to dive into the Celtics first? Do you want to dive in the NBA, or do you want to dive in Pats?
We'll see how we're in the basketball season. Let's talk Celtics first, right? Let's see what's up with the Celtics.
All right,
It's
Tim.
going to be good, so I'm going to run this board.
Tim, you want to lead it? Tim, you want to lead it, or Drew, you want to lead it? Drew?
Look, they got a nice little 3 games.
So what's our topic here? The Celtics?
Yes.
The state of the Celtics?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk Celtics. So
Go
they
for
got a
it.
nice little 3-game win streak going on right now. They got one more before the All-Star break. They could put them 2 games over 500. Not what we were expecting for the first half of the season.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
But I like that guys are getting healthy. I like that we're starting to see more lineups where Brown and Tatum and Walker are all playing together. I really like what I'm seeing out of my boy Rob Williams. I just wish they would give him more minutes. And we're doing all this without Marcus Smart right now. So I feel like when he comes back, he's really the straw that stirs the drink. He's kind of the catalyst there on defense. So I'm optimistic. I mean, look, you guys know I'm a homer.
To further Drew's point, add to it. Pat, I haven't watched the Celtics the past few games, but I've looked up the box score. Kemba's been playing a lot better during this 4 or 5 game stretch. To add to your point, he has been. He has definitely. He looks healthier. The knee is looking like it's getting better, and if we see more consistent production that he's been producing the past 4 or 5 games, who knows? Maybe he can really step in and be a catalyst again.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're a little bit further removed than what we were a week or two ago from the knee injury. So another week or so where he's being able to feel that knee out and play a little harder on it. I liked the last couple of games watching him drive to the hole. Doing that Kemba step back that he does, and hitting from the outside or hitting from the mid range. Definitely refreshing to see him hitting a higher percentage of shots than what we were seeing 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think we were all calling to get rid of Kemba any way that we could. Mm-hmm. And we were even talking about trades where we were only going to get back 70 or 80 cents on the dollar. But just get rid of him, right? Because he wasn't the answer going forward. Right now, I mean, look, I don't think he's the future answer of the team. That's still, I think, Tatum and Brown. But for right now, for the next season or two, especially for this year, if he can continue to play the way he's playing, I think we've got a great third scoring opportunity and a guy that we can count on in the clutch.
All right, lit. That's what we like to call in our group chat the Homer take, right, Tim? Is that what you like to call it?
100%.
You know what? I wanna be with Drew. I do. I really do. But what's happening right now, I predicted at the beginning. I knew what happened at the beginning of the season, so I'm kind of not. I like the optimism, though. I do. I like the optimism. That's how I'm normally programmed. I get it. But there's a big problem on this team.
Yeah, well, on the team.
And his name is Jason Tatum.
Oh, really? You think Tatum's a problem?
I think Tatum is a problem. Now, I'm not saying trade him. I don't want to trade him. I do not want to trade him. He's still your leading scorer. All right? So he's still giving you production. But, again, I'm going back. I'm looking at these past 4 or 5 game stretches where he is shooting abysmal percentages, and he's not there.
Because the COVID.
So it's not.
COVID.
So it's not his talent.
Breathe. He can't breathe.
It's not his talent. It's not his potential. It's all in his head. He needs to grow up. He needs to figure out what the heck he's doing. Is what he needs to do. Like he looks like a deer in headlights most of these games. And I'm just watching highlights.
So
now I'm not saying trade him. All right, Tim? I'm not saying trade him.
That's fine.
All right? But someone needs to give him a kick in the ass. You can say that, right? Someone needs to give him a kick in the rear end, big time. And so, is that Kemba? Is it Marcus Smart? Is someone needs to hold him accountable? Go, Drew.
Drew's chiming in.
So I was just going to say, I think you hit the nail on the head. He's got to grow up, man. He's 22 years old, or 21. Is he 21 or 22?
He's 23 as of today.
Oh, today's his birthday?
Today's his birthday.
Fourth year in the league? Fourth year? Is this his fourth year?
Third year.
Third year.
In the league, 23 years old.
Wait.
2017.
He's got to grow up. You're absolutely right. And he's got to learn how to be a veteran presence out there on the floor instead of just being okay with shooting whatever shot he feels like shooting, throwing the ball up in the air, whatever he feels like. And the thing that I think is the biggest problem with Tatum is he believes he's a superstar already, and he's not there yet, right? So
that's the perception, yep.
I always talk about, like, hey, man, he's a top player, whatever. But the problem is he believes that in his head. So he thinks he's going to get the calls that top players get. He thinks he's going to just be able to make shots that top players make. And he's not there yet. He hasn't matured enough yet to get there. So we're still seeing the maturation process of Jason Tatum right now. Now, if we flip that over to the other side of that all-star duo, I think we're starting to see more maturation already from Brown. I think Jaylen Brown is a more mature player right now.
I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
He's a year deeper into the league. He's an older player. He's got more experience, and I think he is showing that maturation when it comes to shot selection and then just his overall presence on the floor.
He's having his best year of his career. That's
absolutely.
Yeah,
we've talked about that on the chats and on the page. But like I feel like Jason is still sitting there. He thinks he's still. I don't know. I think he's just like he expects to be getting the calls and like he expects to just be able to beat other guys. He's still got to remember he's playing against NBA caliber players out there most of the time, and because he's supposedly our best guy, their best guy is usually defending him. So he's just got to get to that next level of maturity, and I don't think we've seen that yet from him.
Okay.
I know, I'm going to let you go.
Dude, you've got the got the hot take. That's why we're getting ours out of the way
Mine's
first.
quick. My point, from someone who knows diddly squat about basketball, I said this last year that...
Oh, come on, you've learned.
I said last year that they should have... I mean, I've learned a bit, yeah, but I don't follow the NBA much. And I said last year that he's too immature. He hasn't proven himself to deserve a big contract like he got. And I said last year...
It's not a max contract.
It's not a max, but it's a pretty big
extension.
contract. I said last year they should have gave him a 1-year deal to prove himself outside of the bubble, have a real good season, prove yourself, and earn the contract. Right? Last year, you didn't see him be a leader. I mean, the games that they lost, he was taking dumb shots in, key games, playoff games, and he blew those games. And I had said, because I watched it with Tim, we actually watched him lose the game at BJ's Brewhouse in North. I said he needs to be on a 1-year deal until he can prove that he deserves anything. Because right now he's not a leader, he's not a key player, he's just another guy who plays basketball. And, they gave him the contract, and I feel like that's the worst thing they could have done because I don't know how much he's going to change when he's already getting paid.
That's true.
He's doing the same crap they paid him big money to do. So to him, he's not doing anything wrong because he's getting paid he's getting paid more money to do what he did last year. They didn't expect anything different because they gave him a contract based on that performance, and he's giving you the same squad he gave you before. And you don't give him any desire or emphasis to play better. Right, they tolerate it is what the problem is. They tolerate crap, and until they say we're not going to tolerate crap, he's not going to change. And that's just my only take, and that's my really having a clue on basketball take. But for me, like if I could see that, I don't know why Celtics ownership couldn't have saw that last year. And now we're gonna turn on the burners, fire up the stove, because here comes Tim's hot take.
Coming in hot because Tim always has the hot takes on the Celtics. So,
All right.
go for it.
This might not sit well with some, but I'm going to explode and do it anyways.
All right, I'm ready.
Kobe Bryant ruined Jason Tatum.
Whoa.
Kobe Bryant ruined Jason Tatum.
Whoa.
Yeah, I went there.
You're gonna have to elaborate.
I went there. All right,
You cannot make another point until you elaborate on this.
I'm going to start with this. Left arm. What does he wear on his left arm? Forearm. Come on.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
A Jordan wristband.
It's not a Jordan wristband.
It is.
No, it's a Tatum Zero wristband.
Yeah, Jordan started the wristband, though.
No. When he first started wearing the wristband, what color was it and what number was on it?
Was it 8?
24. It was purple. When did he start doing it?
I don't know when.
After Kobe died. Before then, he was always the type to wear either green, white, or black, depending on what uniform was being worn that day. Sleeve. Goes all the way back to college. Always wore the sleeve. Now he's tried to mimic his game so hard behind Kobe, which I'm going to say
After he
this
passed away.
right now. Yes,
After he passed away.
I'm going to say this right now. Jason Tatum, you never will be, and you never are going to be Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
No matter how hard you try, you will never be Kobe Bryant. Stop trying to be Kobe. Stop trying to play and be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Be Jason Tatum, man. Because when he was Jason Tatum, that was when he shined the brightest. When he shined the brightest. When he was attacking the rim.
When he had that game winner.
Yes.
When he had the game winner and he attacked the basket.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Jason Tatum in the playoffs when he dunked on LeBron James.
Yes.
That's when I said, you know what? I like that dude. I like him. But he's lost, man. He is somewhere out. I think he might still be in that arena. I think he died that game 7. I think he died that day.
Yeah.
Okay. Because ever since this whole thing went down with Kobe. And listen, no disrespect to Kobe, he's one of my favorite players to watch.
Okay, minus the Heat series in last year's playoffs in the bubble. Tatum was solid in the playoffs.
I don't think
he was
so.
solid.
I don't think so.
I think he was solid.
I think he was your average player.
I don't think he was. He wasn't as good, but he was solid.
He didn't play like he was your 1A, which he was supposed to be the 1A the last 2 years.
He was the best player in the minus the Heat series. I think he was the best. If you had to pick the best player in the playoffs of the Celtics last season,
okay,
in the disappointing season,
if you want to do that,
I think
that's fine.
Tatum.
That works. That's even worse for the Celtics.
Debatable.
That's even worse for the Celtics because, again,
Anyway, back to your Kobe point.
Yeah, the player that I fell in love with was the guy who was hungry. He was young. He was raw. Right. He wasn't afraid. Like he wanted to prove himself. And this goes back to what I've said week in and week out. And we sat here a couple, actually, before I get completely off topic, I do want to say it's 2 years for the show, by the way.
Today?
Yeah, not today, but we were talking about it.
Oh,
because
nice.
Zion Williamson was one of the first shows we did where he blew his shoe out 2 years ago yesterday.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we're about the 2 year mark for the show.
Yeah.
So I've sat here in this, in this room, and I've stated since Tatum has signed that contract that he is looking for the big money shot to set his brand going. Jason Tatum right now does not care about the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum cares about Jason Tatum. Okay? He's a selfish player. He doesn't look for others to get others involved, and it's very, very apparent to me, again, when they go into the Jason Tatum isolations towards the end of the shot clock, whatever it is, and he just tries to force up either those awful running floaters or he tries to take a step back three-pointer. That's not his game, man. His game is and always will be attacking the rim first. Always. Always. And then now he's trying to turn into the shooter and look for these flashy plays to make his own human highlight reel. Don't do that, man. Don't be Kobe. Be JT. Be Jason Tatum.
What do you think about that point, Drew?
Well, look, I like the idea. I didn't mention Kobe in my little introduction here because I thought Tim might bring it up. And I feel like you're probably right about the fact that he's trying to be a superstar, right? Which is what I was trying to get at before. He's trying to be a superstar. He's trying to get the superstar calls. And he's not there yet because his game is not at that level. So I feel what you're saying as far as him trying to emulate Kobe Bryant. Like, he's not there. He's not at that level. So I like the idea that you're talking about, like, we need to see Jason Tatum back.
Yeah.
We need to see the Jason that we saw in those playoffs. You know, like, he's not there.
The Jason we saw dunk on LeBron. The guy that played with like a mean streak.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like he had something to play for.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm getting at now. Like, when I was talking earlier, it was about, hey, look, he is just taking whatever shot he feels like. And like to Tim's point, like, even if he's not open, he's just throwing up a shot because it's like, hey, I'm Jason Tatum, and I can hit any shot. And, you know, he might have another player open. Maybe Walker's cutting or Jaylen Brown's open in the corner, you know, or whoever, one of the shooters that they've brought in, Neesmith, Pritchard, whoever, is out on the court with them. He's not really even looking for that because he's thinking, I'm superstar Jason Tatum, let me just throw up whatever shot that I get. And, you know, Tim's right. You know, they're doing this ISO stuff. The clock wears down. Now there's 2 seconds left, and he's just launching it, you know what I mean? And you really aren't getting the best success out of him because of that. And I don't know if it's in his head or maybe it's an accountability thing. Like, nobody's holding him accountable. And I feel like Brad has a lot to do with that. And that's the second part of my take, where, like, what's Brad doing to bring it all together? Because you've got these guys, and I think they're all really strong players, but what's Brad really doing to make it all happen? And maybe he needs some help. Maybe he needs a veteran presence on that team to kind of be a glue guy to bring them all together that we're not seeing right now. So, you know, that's another thing that comes to mind when I start thinking about the Celtics. Like, who's that veteran glue guy? And really, I think it's Marcus Smart, but he's not there right now. He's not out on the court right now. So how much of that is he really contributing? I don't know. And I just don't feel like Brad has that presence on the sideline to really hold them accountable when Jason's just going out there and just bombing up threes. You know what I mean? Like, especially, you know what really frustrates me the most is when he just comes down and it's not the end of the shot clock that bothers me because, hey, you got to put up a shot at that point. If you're the guy with the ball in your hand and it's about to expire, you got to fire up the rock. What really frustrates me is when we come down and we've got 15 seconds left on the shot clock and you just see a bomb coming from 30 feet. It's like, dude, you're not Steph Curry. Like, what's going on? So, I don't know. I really feel like the talent level is there. I mean, obviously, both guys are going to the All-Star game, and Brown and Tatum. There's some talent, going on there, but they just gotta do a little bit more growing. And I don't know if Brad is going to really be the guy to push them in that direction and help them grow.
Mm-hmm.
So, to close out
I've got a hot
to close out the whole Tatum talk. It's definitely accountability,
because
right?
I think we're all in agreement about Tatum.
I look, man, right, and we can go all the way back to the bubble last year, right? He comes out with his hair after the little break they had, right? Comes out, his hair's overgrown, he's wearing the headband, it's a terrible game, right? And rather than just coming out being like, oh, I had a real terrible game, it's on me, the layoff kind of killed me, I fell out of shape, whatever it is. Oh, yeah,
When was this, last year?
This was last year in the bubble.
Okay.
And then he comes out the next day, cuts his hair, right? Goes back to the buzz cut.
Yep.
Comes out, has a great game. The reporters, you cut your hair. Oh, yeah, I cut my hair. Like, obviously he didn't mean directly that was the reason why. But, rather than just being up front and just owning up to it, right? So, again, it's the accountability,
It's
and
what
then,
you don't see from young players today.
Right.
It's really
then, Drew kind of hit the nail on the head when he's talking about how he needs to mature and grow and how he needs to stop, looking for the things that he's looking for, because every time he goes to the rim and he doesn't get a foul called, he has a little hissy fit and he throws his arms up, right?
Yep.
And he flares out, and by the time he's done throwing his arms up, the ball's already halfway up the floor. So you've already put your team at a disadvantage now in a 5-on-4 because you're too busy because you didn't get that call, right? So that's not Celtics basketball. Like, we've never seen Kevin Garnett do that. We've never seen Paul Pierce do that. If Paul Pierce did it, he was running up the floor, like throwing his arms up.
Dude, I've
seen that.
Years ago, before this even started, you never saw Isaiah Thomas do that.
Right.
You never saw those guys
Isaiah
do that either.
played with a chip on his shoulder. He was hungry. He played, listen, not too many of these Celtics right now embody what a Boston Celtic is. Okay? A Boston Celtic has always been the gritty guy He's got.
I'd say
things to
Jaylen
prove.
Brown.
Yeah,
I'd say Jaylen does that.
Again, I'm not singling anyone out. I'm saying not too many of the guys now are Celtic type basketball players, right? Nobody outside of Marcus Smart. I don't see people diving on the floor to get loose balls, right? I don't see people trying to save the balls going out of bounds. It's effort, man. Effort gets you noticed, right? And that's why, when I say in our group chats, you know what? You might think I'm crazy, but guess what? And you just said it. Jaylen Brown right now, he is the most, standout player to me because he plays with heart, he plays with grit, he plays defense, he gets back, he plays in transition. He embodies what a Celtic is right now. He's not looking for excuses every time he doesn't get a call. So, yes, that's why I say that Jaylen Brown right now is the most Celtic type player that we have.
Yep.
Okay?
I'm with you.
And listen, I sit here and say, hey, let's trade Tatum. It's not because I don't like him. It's just because right now I know that he doesn't fit the mold of what we need. And if we need to win, we need to have that maturity. We're never going to win with the way that he is now. Let's understand that.
Okay.
With him being the way he is, we will not win. So he needs to either grow or go. And I like Tatum. I like Tatum. He knows I like Tatum. But my thing is he needs to get mature.
I'm with you.
And the talent's there. Drew's right. Not to keep cutting you off, Drew. Drew's right. He's a top 10 talent. Right now, no. He has the ability to be a top 10 talent, but not right now. Not until he hits that maturity point.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have to agree, man. I think that's what's holding him back. I like to grow or go. I think that's funny. But you're right. I mean, the problem is right now, if you trade him, you're not going to get any value worth what we feel like he is going to be worth in the near future. So if you want to win this year, great. We can trade him and we can get back 80 cents on the dollar, and we can try to win this year. The problem is then we're just throwing away another player, another piece, and we're getting in somebody that's maybe a lesser talent that doesn't have as high a ceiling, I should say. And maybe we could win now or be a better team right now, but I think we're sacrificing the future for that, right?
So my only thing about the future, right? So, Ryan, maybe you can look this up.
I got you.
When Brown and when Tatum's contract is up, because we got a small window here. We could say 3 to 4 years in the window.
Yeah.
For the two of them. So who says that in 2 years from now, if we're in the same position, that those guys aren't going to be like, you know what, I'm done here. This isn't working for me, because Harden just did that. Other players have done that. LeBron actually played out his contract, but Kyrie did that. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to play here. Trade me. So, it's kind of like we need to start – either Danny really needs to get his head out of his you-know-what and start figuring out some pieces that are going to work around these two, or you got to blow things up, and you got to get your value while you can before they say, hey, you know what? In 2 years, I'm going to be the crybaby who's saying I'm going to sit out, and you know what? You're going to have to trade me, and you're not going to get much because all these other teams are going to know that I have you by your neck.
Right. I think we're spoiled, too, right? Because we're in a town where we're used to seeing teams win, and we want to see our Celtics win.
Correct.
And it's been a while now. You're talking, 12 going on 13 years since they won with Garnett and that era. And, we've sat here, we've watched Stevens coach this team for 6 or 7 years, and we really haven't gotten past the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we've got this young nucleus of players, and we want to see them take it to that next level and make it to the championship level. They're just not quite there yet.
No.
So, to your point, do we get rid of these guys to bring in players that we can win now with? But now then once they walk away, now we're starting back all over again. The tough part with Boston is we're never going to be crappy enough to have those top picks, right? We got lucky. We made some trades, and we got that top pick, 2 years ago when we got Tatum, or 3 years ago when we got Tatum, and we made the Markelle Fultz flip-flop to go down to number 3, and we still got Tatum. Yeah, right. We're never crappy enough to get those picks. So if we trade away Tatum and we bring in somebody, I can't give you a name because I can't think of somebody off the top of my head that we could bring in here and we could all of a sudden be a winner. Let's say Jimmy Butler comes in and now all of a sudden we're a championship caliber team. Great, but Jimmy Butler's an old player. He's not going to be the future of the team. I like your point where, the contracts are up in 2 or 3 years and maybe they walk away. But that's why it's so important now to have success and to make them the focus of the franchise so that other players want to come here and play with them in the future, or so that we develop players that can be successful with them, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. I mean, I'd love to see, those two guys stay for the next 8 or 10 years and just go on a strong run of always being competitive. But who knows? I mean, you're right. Tatum may have it in his head like, hey, I'm a superstar. I want to go play in LA. I'm a superstar. I want to go to the Knicks. I want to play in Miami. And so that's the problem with a league full of prima donnas like that, is they get to dictate where they want to go, and there's really no loyalty.
No, I mean, Tatum's had two of the worst players. I should say the worst.
So we have Jaylen Brown signed through the end of the 2024 season when he turns 27.
Yep.
And Tatum is signed through the end of the 2026 season when he turns 28.
Yeah, so I could see them in 3 to 4 years very easily saying, hey, you know what?
You've got 4 years here. Yeah,
at
including this
most,
year, you have 4
most.
years of them together.
Yeah, at most, because I can see them saying, hey, you know what? This isn't working. We're going to blow it up. But, I mean, look, right? You've had two of probably the most personality-driven players in Kobe and Kyrie mentoring Jason Tatum, right? It's no secret that Kyrie's been best friends with Tatum, and obviously we just covered the whole Tatum and Kobe thing.
I think Kyrie's more of a problem.
100%,
than Kobe.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Especially
but so with that being said, Tatum could very easily take the whole Kyrie route again, right? And let's not forget here, right? Kyrie stood 10 months before he left in front of all the fans saying, hey, I'm going to resign here.
Yeah.
And then he saw how bad things went, man. And he said, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be here, right? Maybe I should leave, right? So who's to say that Tatum doesn't do the same thing? Hey, you know what? I signed another 4 years here, but this isn't really working out. I got to get out of here, man. 2 years. I'm going to go play with LeBron out in L.A. Or I'm going to go play with Giannis. Or, you know what? I should really go play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie, right? We got to remember that. So, the window's only so small, especially nowadays, there's really no loyalty in the league. Right, it's about money and it's about winning. If you don't have either of those, then I don't want to be here. But if we all think that that Tatum's going to sit here, maybe Brown, because Brown's more like a laid back. But if we think that Tatum's going to sit here and be like, you know what, I'm okay with being, subpar 500 and not really going far in the playoffs. Well, fine, that's on you. I'm just telling you from what I see around the league, it's going to come down to a point where we're not winning and we're going to end up losing the talent.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think it's Kobe or Kyrie. I think it's just that Mamba mentality that Tatum's trying to have. And what I mean by that is that superstar mentality. He's trying to be above the league, above everybody. And he's not there yet. So if he was there, if his talent was there, if he was that good of a player, if he was a top 5 guy, or top 10 guy like Kyrie has been, like Kobe always was, I could see the actions fitting with the skill set. But he's not there yet. He doesn't have that skill set yet. And I think that's part of the mentality that he's got. And that's why he's throwing his hands up when he doesn't get calls. He thinks he should be Kobe or Kyrie. He thinks he should be a superstar. Mm-hmm. But his level of play is not there yet. So, when I say, hey, he's a top 10 talent, I mean, he has the ability to be a top 10 talent. He, has a feeling of being a top 10 guy. But right now, we're just not seeing that from him. Mm-hmm. And, to your point, if he still has it in his head, hey, I'm a superstar player, I should be getting paid superstar money, and I should be winning championships like superstars do, then, yeah, we have to worry, is he going to walk out of Boston and say, nah, this isn't the town for me to do it in. I want to go play with another player. Maybe I go down and play in Miami, and I join those guys with, that group of young players that are coming up. Or, if Giannis is still in Milwaukee, hey, maybe I want to go play in Milwaukee, or maybe me and Giannis go and we play somewhere else, kind of like, the LeBron James, Chris Bosh duo showed up in Miami to play with Dwayne Wade. Maybe the two of them decide, hey, we're going to go to Portland, and we're going to win with Dame Lillard. Who knows? So it's kind of scary when you think that there's just no loyalty out there. But that's the world we're living in right now. It's a diva-driven league, and it's the National Diva Association. It's the NBA right now, and that's where we're at, guys. So look, we have to find a coach or other players on the team that can wrangle these dudes in, especially Jason, elevate him to that next level, and give him that taste of success so that hopefully he stays here in Boston long term.
Yeah. No, I agree, Drew. Hey, we're way over on the break, so I believe that Nicholas is going to pop this.
Make it happen, man.
And then we'll hit the top of the hour.
So stick around. 508-222-1320. One more line open. MVP Sports Talk Radio live out of Attleboro, Massachusetts. WARA Radio.
Attleboro what?
So
1320 AM, Massachusetts.
Last thing I want to ask you guys, so we're Celtics are sitting in fourth place. They're ideally contenders. Believe it or not, they're only 5 games out of first, which is very attainable because you still have half the season to play. So, do we see Danny Ainge making any sort of move at all whatsoever to improve this team and possibly contend in the East? Because you're not a contender in the East right now, in my opinion. You're not. Not even close.
So
you're not even better than teams that are below you right now.
all right. So what do you think gets you to be a contender in the East?
I'm glad you asked him. There's this team
I don't need to know specific
in the West
players.
that's sitting down in 10th, 11th place right now named the Dallas Mavericks. And they have a big man.
If you tell me what I think you're going to tell me, I'm going to punch you.
What?
Porzingis?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Why not?
So what do you have to give up?
So,
You have to at least give up Kemba.
yeah,
And what else?
I would throw that in there.
Kemba
So,
probably a first round.
he's not. Drew's not gonna like me. Rob Williams.
See, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis is worth that.
I don't think he's in the right system.
So all right,
I don't.
Hold on.
He's.
We're not gonna make UFC.
No, we're not.
So
He's gonna. So he's.
But let me get this straight. So the guy
And you don't just get him.
sucked.
You don't just get him. You don't just
All
get
right,
him.
who else you get? Trey Burke?
Yep.
Okay, the guy sucked because I've seen this trade, by the way.
Poor
Guy
Zangus.
sucked in New York. Okay, injury prone. We don't need any more handicap division players.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sick of the handicaps.
But he's healthy now.
I got a great for you, but
He's mad.
it's no, I'm not mad. It's funny that you met because I will harken back to NBA 2K, and I made this exact trade in NBA 2K last time I played it. It was Kemba and another player. I'm trying to remember who I sent with him to Dallas, and we got back the big guy, Porzingis, and we got back Brunson, the point guard. So I'll tell you, it's kind of funny that you're bringing that up because I made that trade already, and
I just
it
don't.
Works, it works financially, which is funny. It's kind of cool. It works financially, and it brings in a big guy. But here's the thing: I think Tim's right. Porzingis is just hurt too much, man. He's been hurt for a lot of this year. He's been hurt a lot in the past.
How many games have been played this year?
How many? You know what? Find out how many games he's played for the Mavericks. Because when he came to the Mavericks, he was hurt.
Yeah, he started the season hurt.
Yeah. So and last year he was hurt, and he's not playing now. So I just feel like I just feel like the return is. I mean, listen. Even if Kemba, was only playing 50% of the time, I don't think the return's enough on Kemba. I don't know. Maybe I'm overvaluing him. I don't know.
You see Porzingis. So Porzingis has been hurt on and off this year.
Yeah.
So he's played 20 games this year.
Okay.
How many games have been played? Have they played? Let me look real quick. Hang on, and I'll do quick math. They've played 33 games.
Okay, so he's missed 13 games.
So he's missed 13 games this
and
year.
then what about last year? How many?
Last
games
year he played every single game
82
in the bubble. Yep, he played every single game.
He played all games.
And then 2017-18 he played 48.
Yeah. See, man, he's just too hurt for me.
And that's it.
Just too hurt for me.
So when
Played
you talk about Porzingis,
played 76 in 2016 and 72 in 2015.
Hold on. Go ahead, Drew.
So when you talk about getting Porzingis and you're talking about it's too much for Kemba, in other words, like Kemba has more value than that. Did you watch the Celtics play the Mavericks the other day?
Well, no. I'm saying between Kemba, Rob Williams, and the first round pick that I believe the trade said, what was it, first and a second, right?
Oh, yeah.
And a second.
Yeah. So it's first and a second. That's just too much value for Porzingis. I would do Kemba in a second for Porzingis.
I think that I saw this trade and I liked the idea of getting Porzingis.
Yeah,
I didn't like the what we had to give up.
Yeah, you give up way too much.
Like I'm okay with. I'm sorry, Drew, but I'm okay with giving away Rob Williams and
so
Kemba.
am I.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For a solidified big in this league who's proven that he can perform when healthy, absolutely.
So I agree with you that I think you're overpaying for Porzingis if you give up all of that. But if you could get back that kid Brunson in the deal, now you got another guy that can play point guard for you and another big. I hate giving up Rob Williams because I feel like his ceiling is much higher, and they're just not giving him enough minutes right now. But like the idea that now you've got Porzingis who can really stretch the floor, and that's kind of Brad Stevens' offense. And you could get back a kid like Brunson. I don't know if you watched the game the other night, but that kid can hit the ball from the arc, and he can take the ball to the basket.
I like Derek Brunson.
Brunson is a damn good player. So if you could get him and Porzingis back for a Rob Williams, Walker, and a pick or two, now we're talking.
Because I don't know about this player too much, so I'm going to ask you, Tim or Drew. Who would you rather have, Porzingis or Vucevic out of Orlando?
Vucevic.
Okay.
But if you're going to tell me right now between who I think that the Celtics could go after, get him at a fairly reasonable price, and would kind of turn the tides, I think it's John Collins.
I
think
Atlanta?
that's going to be number one on the hit list. It's got to be John Collins because listen, he's not going to sit on the 3-point line and knock him down for days, but he can shoot the ball. He's a big, he's a forward. I think that's what this team needs, is a forward. Because listen, I love Grant Williams, right? He's probably the second behind Jaylen Brown. I mean, if Marcus Smart was healthy, that I would say
Grant Williams. I loved him at Tennessee.
Right, but
he doesn't have the talent level.
No, but he's got.
But
the
he
heart.
has the heart.
But he's
the
got
work
the heart
ethic,
and the effort, and the things we talked about.
He's a good role player.
Celtics.
He's a great. He's a good role player.
He's almost like a Brian Scalabrine, where he's a good energy guy. He's kind of like a player that fans can kind of get behind, almost like a Taco. But I don't think that he's to be your answer coming off of the bench, to play that second spot.
Do we think they have a chance at Thaddeus Young?
Yeah, I think they have a chance at Thaddeus Young.
Because I think he's probably the
one person.
He's going to get moved. I think he's going to get moved, and he's probably your most popular trade target.
I wouldn't kick the wheels either on Miles Turner.
I love Miles Turner.
I'd call and see what it takes. But there's definitely some pieces out there. I don't think that we need a guard. I don't think we need a point guard. If you're going to go the point guard route, I know I've said this before. I would look for Rondo to come back with John Collins, and you try to package maybe Kemba Walker and a pick. Maybe you throw in one of the Williams brothers. Again, I call them the brothers, but whether it's Rob Williams or if it's Grant Williams, whatever. And you try to get back John Collins and Rondo, and I think that really solidifies your offense too. I mean, now you're talking about you have Rondo, Brown, Tatum, John Collins, and then you play you could play Tice there, or you could go small ball too and have Collins play the play the 5 and Tatum play the 4, to stretch the ball out that way when Smart comes back. So, there's definitely pieces to be had. I just don't know if Porzingis makes sense because, listen, we're trying to get out of this whole stigma where we have injuries, right? Because Kyrie was hurt, Kemba was hurt.
Marcus now.
Yeah, right. So, you need guys who are more consistent, guys who are going to be there. Maybe you call and, you bring back Al Horford, on a quick trade and, try to get that veteran presence back in the locker room. And, maybe he gets you 10 to 12 minutes off the bench.
I want a veteran that can step in and literally, kind of catapult and captivize this team a little bit and motivate him. And maybe it lights a fire under Tatum's butt or something like that.
I think the only way you're going to light a fire under Tatum is if you get someone who plays at the same position.
Okay.
Al Horford is definitely not the answer for this team, boys.
I'm with you.
I'm sorry.
I don't think he's the answer. I think he could be a piece to the answer.
I don't think he's a piece either. I mean, if you watched him play this year, he's been terrible, guys.
Yeah, you know what, though? He was also not too hot before he came in and played in Brad's system, and he really shined in Brad's system.
Well, I'll tell you,
I think the pick-and-roll game for him is huge.
Yeah, I think he didn't give us a lot of stats, but I thought
he's not a max player, though.
No, he's not. I'm not saying to pay a max.
I mean, we paid him a max.
Right. But listen, that he's not what he used to be. But he is a key to the answer. Because he could give you a veteran presence off the bench, gives you the veteran personality in the locker room, right? He played with heart. And I'm not saying, you go all in and use a trade expectation on him, but that's definitely a piece that you could trade somebody for.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see him coming in here, man. I mean, I don't think he's an answer to the problem. I feel like he would be more of a problem. I think he kind of left town with a bad taste in his mouth for Boston, and because he's just not that player presence out there on the court anymore, I don't think he's hiring anybody at this point. Holy smokes.
Oh, sorry, I was laughing at the show header that Nick's over here messing around with.
All right, so
Drew,
we need time.
I heard you,
Patriots,
but we're going to save the Patriots for next week.
What?
Yeah, we'll save the Patriots for next week because we only got 5 minutes, and I'm going to unload.
You can't unload in 5 minutes.
No, because I need opinions. No, but Drew, I wanted to get your opinion, man. 2 years strong doing this MVP thing. What do you think?
What is it?
2 years strong doing this MVP thing.
2-year anniversary, buddy.
How quick time flies.
The scary part is, we really haven't been able to get together as a full group in a while, and I was so disappointed last week that I was going to be able to be in studio and you guys couldn't make it. So, look, the next time that we can make that happen, let's try to do it because it's pretty cool, man. I mean, talking sports has always been a passion. You guys know that. We've been talking about sports for a lot of years, a lot longer than the 2 years that we've been doing the show. And, it's great to have all of us when we can all just bounce ideas and craziness off of each other and just have fun with it. I like when we don't all agree about the topic and we have our own.
And we never do.
Except for tonight for some weird reason.
Yeah.
I I think we've agreed, but I think we've agreed in different perspectives, right? So I like that. I like when we can have different perspectives and we can talk about, the same topic, but through a set of different eyes.
Right.
I think that's awesome.
You know what I was more disappointed about last week about not being able to be here?
Yeah.
I wasn't able to indulge on my Tom Brady, the GOAT, 7 Super Bowl winning champion meatball sub.
I know, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Damn.
I want to take both ends and slap them together and then take a bite out of each.
Amen to
Maybe get a little weird with it.
It's so
Florida
good.
2.0.
Dude, I want to look at bets.
You're not going to want to get back on the air once you have a bite of that.
No, I'm definitely going to eat it like after the air because I'm going to be like one of those like.
You're going to be in food coma after.
Yeah, I'll make sure I wear shorts that day.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I love it. So, yeah, man, I mean, look, obviously got a lot to talk about with the Patriots coming up. Free agency starts on the St. Patty's Day, on my son's birthday.
Nice.
On the 15th, so next, what's it, 2 weeks from today, right? Today's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks from today, and then my son turns 3, free agency starts, and, we got a lot to talk about, guys. So I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. It looks like, schedule-wise, looks like I should be able to be on most of the show, which will be good. But definitely bring the A game with the Pat talk, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now with those Patriots. Oh, my God.
It's insane.
So much stuff. So that'll be a little teaser, I guess, for the audience for next week. But, yeah, look, as far as the Celtics go, look, a lot of maturity, a lot of growing up has to happen. A lot of accountability has to happen on the coaching side. Maybe Danny, I would say right now, if I had to bet odds-wise, money line on Danny making a trade at the deadline to bring in a player here, like a significant piece, I would say it's like a minus. Minus would be meaning that it's favored. So I'd say plus like 500. Like, I don't think that he's going to bring a significant piece in here. You may see him go out there and make a small move, but it's not in Danny's nature to really rock the Casbah. He just doesn't make big plays.
Not at the deadline.
Well, if it's going to come at the deadline, it's not going to be using the trade expectation. He'll use that next offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind.
It's going to happen in the offseason, exactly. Yeah. So I don't expect anything crazy to happen. Now, look, crazier things have happened. Maybe we have an injury, and all of a sudden the ownership is like, hey, we're close. Danny, let's go out and make a push for it. But I don't know. I don't see that happening. It sounds like, every time they talk to Wick, that he feels like they don't have a team. They don't have the chips right now, or they're not playing at the level to really make that investment. So I don't see it happening, guys. I do see them, winning this next game, going into the All-Star break on a four-game win streak. There'll be 3 games over 500. I think that'll put them 4th in the East, which is not acceptable, but it's not bad after a bad start and a rocky road that they've had. So, look, we'll see what happens with Tatum and Brown in the All-Star game. Looks like they're going to compete against each other in the 3-point challenge, so that's going to be fun. Look, hey, next week, let's talk that.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick. We're transitioning real quick, Nick and Tim, if you want to join
It's
in.
9 o'clock!
Sterling, Jan. We'll start there. First title fight, UFC, biggest pay-per-view on Saturday. So mad we didn't get into it. Real quick.
We can. If
Jan and Sterling.
If Tim's not rushing out of here,
I'm not rushing
we
out
can
of
hang
here.
around and do
All right.
another segment on it.
That guy
Jan.
just lost that UPS truck.
So,
My God.
Guys, I got to run. Enjoy your UFC talk.
All right, Drewy boy, thanks for
Much
calling.
love.
take care,
Talk to you
buddy.
next week.
Love you, buddy.
Be safe.
So we need.
Now that guy's gone.
we
Thank
need.
God, one of
yeah,
those.
thank God. Shit.
Now on to this. Now we can talk food. No.
Now,
But,
biggest
biggest
UFC
card, man. Oh.
card probably since 200.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
really
biggest card since
remember-
200.
Like I said,
Or no,
even-
250 had 3 title fights too.
Yeah, but not this caliber.
Not of this caliber.
I mean, you're talking Adesanya. I mean, stellar, right? Arguably,
The Adesanya Blachowicz fight
mean,
is
the Jan is-
moving up to 205. Adesanya's probably going to weigh in at like a $190, and that's the most intriguing matchup of the night. Nunes is always great to watch.
Yep.
And then another
Jan
great
and
title
Sterling
fight
is
in
a great
bantamweight.
fight, but I mean, like the Noon and then the Adesanya are like you don't get two of those fights on the card. You
Right.
don't. Mm-hmm. And great job by Dana White getting this going. He's done a great job, I think, all year of keeping us in.
Greatest
all the fight nights.
commissioner / CEO in all of sports, Dana
Roger
White.
Goodell.
And with that, folks, thanks for joining us on Wednesday.
Why isn't it working? Oh, it's because I'm on this. We get the break on the board.
Adam Silver.
I was going to do the stop that kind of talk.
Yes,
Adam
yes.
Silver.
Jesus. Anyway, Jan Sterling, who do you like? How do you see this fight going?
I can totally see Sterling winning. But I really think Jan might pull it out.
I'm picking Sterling because
You're an idiot.
Jan is good. Jan's good and he can hit.
Yeah.
He hasn't faced as much stiff competition as Aljamain has.
Stiff competition.
Aljamain has more experience. He's faster. He's probably the fastest guy on his feet in the
met
UFC. He has a much better ground game, and his stand-up game ain't too bad either.
Yeah.
Jan has the advantage in the stand-up game, but Jan's boxing and kickboxing is phenomenal. And if Sterling can avoid getting hit,
This is going to be tough.
which I think he can, I think he'll have the right game plan. And Sterling's been waiting a long time for this fight, so I like Sterling's matchup against Jan because especially if he can take him down and get him on the ground, it's over.
Yeah.
I can see this fight going 5, easily. But I'm going to take Sterling. But I would say if Jan wins, I can absolutely see it. But I think Sterling is going to be much more motivated in this
Well,
fight.
take Cotton.
So
See if it pays off.
Nunes Anderson. Do we even have to talk about it? I think. I mean, the only thing about this fight that's intriguing is Megan Anderson at plus 700.
Yeah.
And you know what?
On a title fight, too.
Huh? On a title fight.
I don't remember
it's at featherweight.
The last time I remember a title fight that big was Cyborg's before the Noon loss. She was like she was about the same, minus 1,100, minus 1,400 or something. And then Noon's, going into the Noon's fight, she was like minus 200 or something. And then Noon's was plus 240. But
Nunes was plus 240 in the Cyborg fight?
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, she was underdog
That's
fighting
crazy.
a title fight. You're
That's
fighting
crazy.
Cyborg. But yeah, the preview, I mean, honestly, the plus 240 was a compliment to Nunes, I feel like, because when you're talking about a fighter going from, it was like minus 12 or 1,400, her title fight before Nunes to that fight, I mean, that's a big drop. You're talking about 1,000-point drop in favoritism.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. Yeah, I wish I had put money on Nunes that one. One of my favorite fights is that fight right there. I was watching it the other day. I actually sent it to Tim the other day. Might have been last night. Just getting me pumped up watching our fights. I'm excited. I see her winning, no doubt in my mind. I mean, I guess there is a chance she could lose, but there's not enough. There's not enough to offset what she's doing. I mean, she's developing more and more. Every fight, she's better and better. More techniques in the shed. It's just always spectacular watching her fight, and I don't see anybody, honestly, in the near future that competes with her. It's just there's not to like put a damper, but the women's division is losing talent. Right, it was filled with talent,
And in her
3 years ago.
So in her weight class, yes, definitely
Yeah.
losing talent. But Shevchenko and Wei Li Zhang and Rose
yeah,
Namajunas, those are the divisions that are
Yeah.
awesome. What I want to see,
But I mean,
I want to see Shevchenko and Nunes fight again in that weight class,
Boys.
or maybe have Shevchenko move up.
maybe.
That's
It's
what I
just-
would want to see.
But going from you go from Rousey, Holly Holm, Cyborg. I mean, you had a crazy.
Plus, Nunes is still in her. She's only 32.
Yeah, she's
so
in her
she's
prime.
still a prime age.
She's
she even
she's
made
better
it?
now in her 30s than when she was in her 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 29, even early 30s, she was a really rough fighter. I mean, some of her losses she should have never lost ever. Can't remember her name. The chick she had first lost to was in a UFC fight last night, not even ranked. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, some of the people she lost to was kind of crazy.
Right.
But she's just better every time. Her coaching's phenomenal. She's got some of the best coaching you can have. They're just so prepared for every fight. Cyborg, they knew exactly what they needed to come with. Holly Holm, exactly what they needed to come with. Every time, it's just picture perfect fight. So I'm excited. I don't see her losing, maybe, but I don't see a possibility of her losing. I'd put the house on her winning.
Yep. So she knocked out Cyborg in the first round. She knocked out Holm after that, and she's gone 5 rounds in her past 2 fights, won by decision pretty convincingly. If this fight goes 5,
I don't see this going 5.
If this fight goes 5, Megan Anderson is bigger than Nunes, like size-wise. I want you to see that. If this fight goes 5 and Nunes takes her lightly,
I don't think Nunes takes anybody lightly, though. She's
that's
a very,
that's
very
true
humble
too.
girl.
Like,
Not to mention
Megan
she's
is
fighting
like
two weight divisions.
she's extremely under the radar.
But again,
But-
like you can say like she's bigger, but look at the Cyborg fight.
Yeah.
Look at the size difference
No,
there.
Nunes was they were about the same size. They weren't that big.
No,
But yeah,
Cyborg was severely.
the only person I could see
outstatted.
competing with Nunes is Shevchenko, because she came close to beating her. That was a pretty close fight. She won a couple of rounds for sure. So main event, one we're all waiting for.
Okay,
Blachowicz.
5'8", 145, 6'8".
Hmm?
I'm just looking at stats here.
You were saying, Pumpkin?
Do you have any take on these, or what?
No.
Are you just a McGregor guy?
McGregor and
Because McGregor's washed up, so
no,
you're gonna have to find a new fighter, dude.
No.
You're gonna have to find a new fighter.
No. He'll be back.
He's done.
He'll be back.
He's done.
Why can't I
McGregor's
think of the
problem
other guy's
is
name?
so
He's fighting this weekend.
Huh?
He's fighting this weekend. Why can't I think of his name?
Dominic Cruz.
Adesanya?
Adesanya.
Yes.
I love Adesanya.
Yep. I can pronounce his name, Adesanya.
So
McGregor's problem is the sport is developing and he's not.
No, McGregor's problem is that he's rich and he doesn't give a what
Yeah,
anymore.
but plenty of fighters are rich and man.
He doesn't care. He doesn't listen. That guy gets
see,
paid
when he's
no matter
making
what.
claims that he's the greatest of all time and all this
Here's the
stuff,
problem. Here's the problem.
and he loses
in the words of
four
him,
out of 5
in the words of
fights,
him, what are you going to do about it?
Here's the problem.
stinks.
What do you do about it?
He's
he
washed
doesn't
up.
care what your opinion
He's
is.
washed up.
He doesn't
He's
care
done.
what your opinion is.
It's not an opinion. It's fact.
He doesn't care.
Here's the problem with what you're saying, though. That was not his MO up until he started losing. Now he doesn't care that he's losing.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
His MO was, I'm the greatest of all time. I'll go to any division. I'll beat anybody. I'll beat any fighter. I don't care who it is.
He became a
And
two-belt champ.
And he started
And then he
meeting.
started proper.
No, what
and
happened?
He's making a killing off of proper.
What happened was,
And it's crap whiskey.
What happened was the sport developed. The sport has developed.
So let me ask you a
the
question.
sport has developed more in the last 3 years than the last 20 before that.
So let me ask you a question, straight up. You don't think that him going and boxing Floyd Mayweather changed his whole output? You think he went into that fight? You think that Conor McGregor went into that fight saying, "Yep, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to beat his you know what"?
No, not there.
He knew he wasn't going to win.
for a payday.
He went and got paid.
That's not
because
different.
he doesn't care.
That's not my.
So he doesn't care to be in the sport because if he cared,
I
he
could
wouldn't
care
have
less
messed
about the
around.
Floyd fight.
But I'm just saying,
anyone
he
would
care.
have taken that fight.
He does not care. He doesn't. He has nothing to prove to you, nothing to prove to me, nothing to prove to Nick, nothing to prove to anybody. He's done everything that he had to do. He's got money. He's won belts. He's won fights, multiple different fight classes. He's got nothing left to prove. He doesn't care at this point. He's just doing it because he wants to do it.
I think that's an excuse.
Well, because if he's considering my point here,
A real
my
fights,
problem,
once every 2
a real
years?
fighter defends their belts.
Right.
Amanda Nunes is
once
gonna.
in 2 years?
Defends their belts.
Amanda Nunes is gonna be a
doesn't
better
back
fighter
down and backs up what they're talking about.
Yep.
If he's going to claim himself being the greatest UFC fighter of all time, and he's going to put himself in that category, then he needs to prove that.
Here's the problem. He's lost four of his last
He's
5.
still in his prime too, nonetheless.
Here's the problem.
I wouldn't say he's in his
Here's the
prime.
problem.
He's 32. He's still in his
I wouldn't say he's in
prime.
his prime.
Amanda Nunes is 32. She's
His
double
prime is
champ.
probably like 24 to 30.
32 is a prime age when your body can
Here's
develop
the problem.
and recover. It's a prime
I don't know if I
age.
say
He
that.
has lost 4 of his last 5, and his only win is against Cerrone. That's not a great win to say, at
really
least I won
not.
1. Technically, he's 0-4. The Cerrone fight doesn't count. It's a money fight. That's a kill time fight. Get back into the sport fight. He's lost stupid
who he
fights.
needs to fight next?
He's lost stupid fights, and he hasn't even faced any of the best. I mean, the Khabib fight's the only one he faced hard.
Fights. He got beat by Khabib.
That's the only one that's honorable defeat.
Diaz?
That's where it's not honorable defeat.
Diaz not.
That was a good fight.
He got his ass whooped.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did you watch the same fight?
I watched the whole fight. He got his ass whooped.
I don't think we watched the same fight, my friend.
Did you see how many times he got knocked down?
Yikes.
Did you see the submission?
Okay, so what do we got after that for a loss?
McGregor was terrible in that.
Who did he
fight.
lose
He
to?
got dominated.
You got Khabib. You got Diaz. Diaz, Khabib.
So he lost in March to Diaz.
Yep.
Khabib.
Yep.
Hold on.
Diaz, Khabib,
Who was the third?
Cerrone.
No, he beat Cerrone, and then who did he lose to? Who was the third loss?
I got it. Hang on. I have UFC website pulled up right now. So,
but regardless, right? Amanda Nunes is
So
always
he lost to Dustin Poirier.
yep, that was
stupid loss.
Yeah, that's just because he was also out of the sport for how long?
That's on him.
I'm not saying it's not on him.
that's not an excuse.
GSP
GSP was out of the sport for 5 years.
Here's the
and
problem.
dominated
Here's the
Bisping
problem.
at
If you
middleweight.
can't beat Poirier, you're not going to beat any top 10, top 15 fighter. There's way too many good fighters now.
I told y'all before the McGregor Poirier fight, don't sleep on Poirier. He's awesome.
It's not that I sleep on Poirier, but as being McGregor, you got to come out better than that. The problem is he's not developing. He barely institutes
the problem
leg
is
kicks.
he doesn't care.
He doesn't care now.
No,
because he's
McGregor
lost.
does institute a lot of leg kicks. To your point about the UFC and the game evolving.
His first MMA loss was Cage of Truth.
No, I know all those.
Cage
I was
Warriors.
just talking about the
All
last
right,
few.
so he lost to Nate Diaz,
Yeah.
and then it was Khabib, Poirier, and that's it. He's lost 3.
He's lost more than 3.
No, he's lost 3. His other 2 were all prior to UFC. He's 22-5.
I feel like there's another one
Look at
there.
what his record is.
Diaz.
He's 22-5.
Anyway, he never should have lost any one of those but Khabib.
So you don't. All right. So you really think that he shouldn't have lost the Diaz fight?
No.
Why?
Because
he
Diaz is the guy that's because you're fighting
his first mistake.
because you're fighting a guy that's there solely for the money and you lose to him. You challenge him,
you got some
you
idiots.
fight him.
His first
solely
mistake
for money,
His
and you
first
lose.
mistake was fighting him at 170. That was his
we
first
both know
mistake.
that, yeah.
And then his second mistake, he got tuned up in the later rounds because he got gassed.
But the problem
Yeah.
is
So that was his first. His
his
loss in the
legacy
UFC was Nate Diaz.
is severely tarnished.
Khabib.
Whether it's him not caring, but you
So-
can't tell me his MO was to just make money. Has never been his MO coming out into it. He's always said he wanted to be the best fighter there ever was. It's always his life goal. It's always his ambition. And Amanda Nunes is doing a far better job because she's going to defend 2 separate weight classes consecutively, something he could never do. He got a second belt and then he got embarrassed, couldn't stay healthy, couldn't stay fit, couldn't defend crap.
Yeah.
And now
he
he's
got
nothing.
his second belt and he started partying.
And now he's
doing
got
dumb
nothing.
shit.
That's on him.
Yeah, it is on him. But you're over sitting there
But
like,
don't say that's
oh,
his MO because it tarnished
that's
his
what
legacy.
he chose to do. That's his MO. He chose to go and be that guy. He didn't choose to go in the gym and start preparing to fight 2 belts.
He claimed he did. He
And
claimed
that's
he did.
why.
He said he's in the best shape.
And
of his
that's
life.
why he's not even a top 5
He's
fighter
not even a top
of
10.
all time.
He's not even a top 10.
I don't think
Not
he's
even top 10
5.
either.
Yeah, I don't
Top
think he's
10.
top 5.
Not even top 10.
I don't think
Maybe
he's
top
5.
20.
Top 20, yeah.
He's falling out of there. There's way too many good fighters that are going to knock him out of top 20. This is too much talent.
If he wants to reestablish himself, he goes back to featherweight.
He's going to go back and fight Nate Diaz for the 3rd fight.
Yeah, he will.
He's going to start there.
Diaz and Poirier.
Yeah. He's going to fight. He'll probably fight Diaz first, then he'll fight Poirier.
Then
We
he
haven't
should-
even talked the Adesanya
Then he
fight
needs
yet.
his Ferg matchup. And
He's going to be fine.
Are y'all predicting Adesanya to win? Are we all
Yeah.
doing that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm picking Adesanya, but at the same time, like I
I also got to order
picked
my food.
like I picked McGregor earlier. I did pick McGregor, but I'll say the same thing I said before. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses.
I wouldn't be surprised if he lost. I'll agree with
That Polish power is a real deal, and I know Ricky's not gonna like me for this, but Blachowicz he doesn't have anything to lose. I mean, both fighters don't really have anything to lose in this fight, and I think that's why it was made. So, with that being said, if Blachowicz wins this fight, it's huge for him. Absolutely huge. And I can easily see him winning this fight because he's significantly bigger. He's going to weigh in at 205, but he's probably going to be fighting at about 225 when he shows up for the fight. Adesanya's staying at 185, 190. I get, especially with Adesanya's talent and he's one of the smartest fighters I think I've ever seen in terms of just game planning round after round. And you saw that in the Costa fight. You saw it against Whitaker. You saw it against Kelvin Gastelum, which was probably his closest fight of his career. Adesanya's boxing and kickboxing is just absolutely flawless. But he's facing a guy who's significantly bigger, which is a factor. You have to factor that in. That power, if he can tag him, it is definitely a factor. The knockout is definitely a threat here. And Blachowicz can take him down. You're forgetting Blachowicz was a wrestler in Poland, like a world champion in Poland. So the takedown is another thing. Adesanya's takedown defense is phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but if you're going through a 5-round fight, which is what Adesanya's known for these lengthy fights, it's all these defending takedowns round after round after round. As good as Adesanya is conditioning, you have to factor that in too. I'm picking Adesanya in this fight. I think this fight goes 5. I'm with that. I don't see a knockout submission. I really don't. I think it's going to be a very technical fight. It's going to be really fun to watch. It really is. And I think Adesanya wins unanimously, but I think it'll be close. I think it'll be really close. Yeah. I think it'll be like a Holloway Volkanovski. I think we're going to have Holloway Volkanovski like close fights to where like
Holloway should have won.
Absolutely. Where that would be another one. If Conor wants to reestablish his legacy, once Holloway wins his title back, have Conor drop back down to featherweight and rematch with Holloway.
Problem is you can't. That's Dana's got to stop doing that to make it like it's too WWE. You got to stop cutting out better fighters.
What do you mean cutting out better fighters? What do you mean by that?
Like just because McGregor's McGregor, you give him title shots. You can't do that.
Well, no, yeah, you're right.
You got to go down there and beat 2-3 guys.
I'm with you. So he needs
like
at least
the rankings have been forgotten.
2 wins in a row. At least to get another title shot.
That's the glorious thing about McGregor falling off and a couple other guys falling off is they've kind of gotten away from. They've gotten back to allowing rankings to be a thing, which is why the UFC fight nights have been so popular. Is because much like you're watching for basically like playoffs, you're watching people rank. It's been more successful now, and they don't want to go back. So now, like if he's got to come back, like McGregor's got to fight Ferguson, he's got to fight a handful to be able to even try to dictate any kind of big fight.
Yep.
So, and that'll affect his payout. But on that note, we are 20 minutes over. We've already missed another break on the second hour.
Sorry, Jim.
We got to roll.
Yee-haw.
Happy 2 years.
Thank you for listening to 1320 AM WARA Radio in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Yeehaw.
We should get you on the
Yee.
advertisement.
Next week, we dive into the Patriots, ladies and gents.
Cam Newton 2.0. Get ready. Teaser.
And stay tuned to Let the Boys Talk, because that's coming too, baby.
Let the boys talk. All right, cut it off.